Hello, and welcome to the teamfortress.tv cast of the first round of lower bracket finals for Div 1 RGL-TF26s. I'm Virgil, and today I'm being joined by the Invite Playoffs roamer, walrex.
Oh, that's a plug. And yeah, today we're looking at HRTeam versus. I've already forgotten their name.
Alan Gaming.
Alan Gaming. Sorry, it's just I love Alan, but as a host for the team, he's actually just the best CEO in the league. Anyways, so Alan Gaming versus HRTeam. The thing I really just wanted to point about this match tonight is that this is lower bracket, so whoever loses is out of playoffs. So this is kind of every playoffs match is important, but this is kind of the match for both of these teams. So I guess we should, talk about the teams, see who we're working with here. Do we want to go down the rosters?
Yeah, let's first talk a little bit about what they all did to get here. Starting off with, I believe, Alan Gaming. They got the third seed, I believe, of Div 1 pretty solidly. I believe, I don't quite remember their record off the top of my head. I want to say it was 9-5, I believe, 9-6.
I think it's 9-6.
Yeah, 9-6 to get here. They had a pretty solid performance throughout the entire season. I think they only dropped matches to some of the top teams. But HRTeam's story is a little bit more interesting, being knocked out initially of playoffs with a 7-7 record, if I'm remembering correctly. They managed to sneak into playoffs last second with No Name getting kicked out of the division. Any thoughts on that, walrex?
Yeah, we don't talk about those. Yeah, they definitely have a lot to prove coming into this. I will also say that these teams played twice in the regular season, and HRTeam lost both times. But tonight could be a little different because there has been a little roster switch going into the match, where Mr. Slynn has chosen to leave the team, and as such, they have moved Mopsy to medic, and they have started to ring Exile in these matches. Exile being a low invite experience scout, quite good. So definitely could be seen in a little bit different tonight for the matchup.
Yeah, any thoughts on the roster swap ups? What do you think of the Mopsy for Slynn swap?
I'm a big Slynn fan. I'm a Slynn fan. But honestly, if I think there's any upgrade that has happened, I do think Exile, Mopsy to Exile. Exile is he's an extremely aggressive scout, and he doesn't miss often. And that's just a really terrifying combo to deal with.
And I think scrimming against both of these teams in the past, something you can really gather from this is that for Div 1 teams especially, that aggression is kind of crucial to winning fights. A team that can stay aggressive and hit their shots is a team that can secure a lot of fight wins for themselves. Looks like we're going to be going live soon, though. Walrex, any closing thoughts before we get into?
So I guess a few more notes on the rosters. For HRTeam, I think the person everybody's going to be watching tonight is Cray. That guy's been doing crazy stuff all season. And they are going live.
Yeah, just to quickly wrap it up while the teams roll out. Alan Gaming, we do have Yerb, Dylan, Scouts, Morska, Ropeace, Soldiers, Hunter, Demo, and Tony Medic. And Exile Magma Scouts, Pelt, Nimby Soldiers, Cray, Demo, and Mopsy Medic on the opposing side with walrex. Let's take it away.
Yeah, go right into mid with an early bomb from Bumbo. And both soldiers on both teams are just going in and out. This is a pretty defensive mid so far. Now the roamers are starting to trade sides, the flanks are starting, and things should start getting collapsed on pretty quickly. With Dylan getting picked up early, while Pelt's stuck in shed, but Nimby gets behind onto the medic, and he picks up the medic, and that's basically gonna secure the mid for HRTeam pretty cleanly. While Nimby got onto the med, his combo locked down their side, cleaned up, and...
Ooh, good bomb coming from Morska. Wasn't able to secure Mopsy, though. She lives on a sliver of HP, sitting at 15. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting mid to start off. I think while we're waiting for most likely the 4-mans coming out from AG, we can just comment that something that Red did not do very well is when they sent row pieces behind, if that was row pieces that went behind, the rest of them didn't really walk forward. By the way, we see Ropisa's bombing forward, trying to make space for his team as they begin to set up to get the Uber Force out. Ropisa's going down very early, that's going to be detrimental to their sack, as now the Bimmo and everyone else swarms into sack, trying to get any damage they can get onto Mopsy. Ooh, we see Mortis getting a pick on Enigma, but...
Almost both scouts there. That was smart target switching. They kind of realized the medic was not an option, so they tried to pick up the scouts. But with only one, the respawn timer is basically going to equal it out, and we're going to be seeing a really ham-fisted exchange coming up soon, so Allen Gaming's in a tough spot here.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get through that right side valley area. They're eating a bit of spam, but HRTeam does end up backing up a bit. Pelt going down really early to Europe. Great pick coming out from him as they begin to take points. The Uber comes out from Tony, and they're now get the force on the Mopsy. Mopsy with a slightly better Uber. We're going to see both teams try and reposition and take sides. Craig getting a good bit of juggling with the stickies as the Ubers now come to a close. Ropisa's tries to bomb him, but the Uber isn't quite over yet, so he doesn't get any damage as he would like. Ropisa's trying to get out. Morska is finding a pretty interesting exchange in the sky. He manages to get the better of Nimby, now waiting for an arrow. That's going to cause the point to flip in favor of Allen Gaming. Dylan going down at the very end, though. That's going to be really bad. It's help bomb because it's a huge bomb.
And that's going to be it. Tony is going to get it alive, so they are going to have the potential to re-dry fight this, but that was really close. What I didn't like from Allen Gaming is they got that pelt pick, but then they used first early. I really think they could have milked that pick. And a lot of that fight was decided, I think Dylan went forward onto Exile and got him down to 1 health and didn't clean it up and died. Tiny numbers like that make a big difference. But they are looking to take the dry fight retake here.
Yeah, I will say Tony has been building a lot better than Mopsy thus far. He's been doing really good keeping the beam out, just trying to get his heals out. However, the bow for Dylan gets eaten by some demo of Hunter, so Dylan's gonna go down, and it looks like that's probably gonna stifle the push. Right now, Tony's just trying to live with his Uber charge. Both medics coming up on their Uber. Tony only at 70 HP though. One pipe could take him down. It looks like Allen Gaming's just electing to play the slow fight. However, HRTeam's gonna be fine with this as they still have control of the cap.
Yeah, there is no cap edging going on. It's not really clear what AG seeks to get out of this. Now they're surging across, but they're feeding players. But they got an early use out of the blue team, so this is a better Uber, but they dropped a scout. If they don't clean up a pick here, they're not looking good for the post.
Yeah, Bumbo especially going down far behind as well. Tony ended up getting cleaned up in the post. The Uber was just a bit overextended. Even if they had the better Uber there, they just didn't have the numbers to clean it up with. Yerb and Dylan, the only players alive on Allen Gaming, both of them are just going to elect to leave the fight. However, they have to end up taking this fight very soon. Morska is still dead, but with only 20 seconds on the clock, it's going to be rather rough.
Yeah, they're forced to take the dry fight here, which is never a situation you want to be in. They need to clear roof first and then take point. They're getting some space here, and Pelt is forward, but no picks, no cap time just yet. They really need to get a kill right now. They
end up getting two, Nimby and Pelt. This is really good. Soldier on this map is super strong, and being able to deny those spam lanes is going to give them a lot of room to work with. They can stand on point for free without the blue team being able to contest as much. Now we see the demo of blue coming back in. Cray trying to get a good bit of damage out. He's getting a lot of it done. You're going down to 20 health, but he isn't able to finish him off. Demo class, the sad life. And now Red's going to be delaying their spawn, or Cap did let Bumbo spawn, and that's going to be the point swap. However, with them coming at 2 minutes and 40 seconds,
yeah,
there's so
this is
much
the
time
worst
on the
part. Mopsy got out alive. It's even Ubers. Unless something catastrophic happens, it shouldn't be that hard for HRTeam to just cap the point. So they're looking to take this Uber in. They could even form in if they really wanted to, just to get that Uber out of the way early and make it nice and safe. Oh, but it looks like we actually got a pause here, so
all right.
Not gonna know. Well, actually, I think we can read the situation pretty well. Unless I don't know how far this pause is in the future, but my read is that somebody capped.
Yeah, I think that the clear decision for HRTeam here is to feign a push and get a sack in for Tony, get him to force while Mopsy lives with her Uber, and then because they just have so much time to work with, it was like 2:40 when the pause happened on our end. They don't have to commit until they have the comfortable Uber ad to work with. I think that's a pretty safe bet. As the pause does end up coming through, we see one soldier high bombing and he gets air shot.
It's just a raw four, man.
Was that Hunter that headshot? That was insane.
Oh my good, they're milking this Uber with
Tony
just holds on.
Oh, that was so good by Tony. Oh, he went down pretty low. I think only down to about 40 HP, but he holds the Uber. Crazy air shot. I want to say that was a pipe that hit Nimby, I think it was, in the air. That was a stupid good air shot. He was trying to go behind, and if he had made it behind, it would have been likely that the collapse from HRTeam would have been a lot better. Either way, we're going to see them pushing in now. Their heals are coming in on the left side. They're trying to see what space is available, just kind of slowly taking in and what they can do. Trying to get some spam to force AG to back up. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen.
They're getting control of the roofs. This is getting a little sketchy, but they use first. If this is a good Uber from Allen Gaming, they can definitely convert this.
Morska goes down to Magma though, and they have a soldier behind. Nimby's just sitting there, just getting a bit of spam done. And as the Uber ends, he's going to commit. Trying to land on Tony, but not much is going to happen. Tony manages to kite away. And Peldon's is going down as that happens. That's a pretty big advantage, as that's a late pick in the fight. And now Bumbo and Magma are going to be spawning as well. Rafis is stripping away from the scout. He's not going to lose his life, and they didn't even get a lot of cap time. With the health on HRTeam being pretty poor right now, the Demo and Scout both being below about 50 HP, they're just waiting to get healed up. So yeah, Allen Gaming is going to take the space that they're being provided, just get a little bit aggressive, see if they can secure any picks for the later fight. With now only about a minute left on the clock, they're sitting pretty comfortably, and that's where the pause happened.
Pause? That's an interesting pause. Maybe somebody just timed out then. The dry fight's still going, and Allen Gaming has been positive in his damage trading so far, but with a soldier going behind, things could get pretty dirty pretty fast. Nimby is flanking from house right now. Huge distraction, huge damage on 100, gets the demo. This could actually lead. Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be it with a huge flank from Nimby, but they get Uber just in time.
But Dylan went down just as that happened. And because Red can't give up the cap, they're always going to be at that time disadvantage. With the spawners just taking that much longer. And Tony goes down late in the fight. So many people up for blue with only a few up for red. It looks like just row pieces now, and he's not going to be able to do much going down. That's going to be the first round for HRTeam.
We'll say Allen Gaming brought that back way closer than I thought they were, but that big rat from Nimby picking up the demo and causing that distraction was going to win it out for them, so going back to mid.
So far, I've been pretty impressed by Nimby. He's had some really good wraps and has had some really good timing on his flanks. I don't think we've seen quite as much coming from the Allen Gaming soldiers as we come into this next mid. Nimby, I believe, high bombing behind. He actually lands on a scout and gets taken down. That was Pelva. Nimby now bombing in. Getting a good bit of damage. He ends up getting traded out. He does end up finding Dylan, which is pretty good. A scout pick's always pretty favorable, and Bumbo goes down at the same time, so it's even
Cray
numbers
is going
here.
on the roof. Like, Cray is actually in such a bizarre position right now. And they're gonna get a soldier for it. They've lost ground, but they have to re-dry fight this. They know they have numbers.
Yeah, and refighting there is actually going to cause Allen Gaming to rush the cap, delaying row pieces spawn. As we see both medics coming in on the Ubers, Nimby and Pelt end up going down to the scouts of Red. This is going to give Red a huge advantage in this fight. I wonder if HRTeam's going to like to use this Uber. I would hope not, but Mopsy taking a bit of spam.
Committed. They're looking committed. There it is.
This isn't going to be a good Uber. They're trying to see if they can get damage on any single player, but they're not. And Tony isn't even going to have to pop. And now the collapse is coming in from Allen Gaming. We see one soldier going in deep behind, but he ends up getting cleaned up. And Allen Gaming's just going to take positioning on point and use their Uber out as much as they can.
For a Hail Mary bomb leading the charge. He gets good damage on and Cray cleans it up. They get the force. And honestly, this is pretty decent for HRTeam. They have 2 scouts in the post, and they got 2 picks in that 4-man. This is fightable, even though it is a small disadvantage.
Yeah, and it looks like they're willing to take that slow fight. As I said, they actually start to get out. Mopsy may even end up getting caught. She had a lot of damage, sitting at only 8 health. She's trying to hide in the corner, but she dies. Exile going down as well. He came in to save his medic as we see the explosives all bombing and trying to find where Tony is. They end up getting him, which is great, but now it's a scrappy fight. Nimby finds Hunter in the chaos as the next soldier Pelt bombs in, seeing if he can clean up a scout. He's trying to cause some chaos, and
was decommitting. They gotta get their heals in, but they have 2 scouts in the beam again, so once again, numbers disadvantage be damned, maybe take some space here.
Yeah, I mean, 2 scouts on the beam is something you can't really scoff at, as it looks like they're getting a good bit of damage on the row pieces. He tries to hold them back, and they almost get the cap, just trying to ink out, and they do.
That's actually pretty good, because the way these teams have been playing is they stay in these really drawn-out spam fights. Oh!
Row pieces just did like a single jump across point and killed Mopsy, what?
Looking a little goofy right now. What a simple bomb. Simple but deceptive. Picks up the medic, and now blue team just feeds in to equal it out again. That kind of has been the story of this round so far. It's just 4-man after 4-man after 4-man.
Yeah.
Allen Gaming delaying for the medic. Yeah, do know.
That was such a perfect delay. Everyone just stared at the point and then all in sync walked on it as Tony came up. And now we're going to be seeing even Ubers yet again. Exciting stuff. Oh, I expect a dry fight to be coming in soon as HRTeam begins to walk through Valley. They have soldiers high bombing in, just making a lot of space with their mere presence. But it doesn't look like they're really perturbing Allen Gaming that much. We see one soldier on Allen Gaming's Mumbo going down to about 10 health and he has to get out. Ropiece is only at 20, and he ends up getting taken down, but he's managed to be traded out for Exile. It's a pretty good exchange, I'd say.
Here comes Nimby with the flank though, and they're in the valley. But he dies just too quickly. And another 4-man for HRTeam. 4-man, just 4-mans left, right, and center here. And it's always an option, but as the time like goes down and down and down, you might think they want to start playing a bit more greedy and try and actually take the point without having to burn 30 seconds on a sack wave.
Yeah, and then be going down to trap from Hunter. That's pretty unfortunate as there's only 30 seconds left on the clock, and that's going to stifle their push a good bit. Being down a soldier on this map, they're so crucial for taking that space. Mopsy just now coming in on her Uber. She's going to be trying to move forward with Exile and Craig. Exile trying to make some space here. He's trying to call his medic forward. It looks like they want to take the exchange. They early Uber coming up for blue, but Bumbo and Hunter both go down. Tony dropping 2 of his players.
Yeah, we might be seeing a repeat of last round here where the better Uber just loses to the numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, Dylan did manage to find Nimby in all that chaos. However, Tony ends up going down to Tony being overextended in the post. That's going to result in the point flip for HRTeam. However, they do delay Nimby in the process, but Tony is also on that same spawn wave, so it's not going to matter too much.
Yeah, Dylan feeds in a little late for the medic pick there, and it's going to delay his spawn. But they have 2 minutes to work with here, and all they have to do is cap. So we're basically in a mirror situation of last round, and with both teams not having Uber, I expect a 4-man to be coming in any second now.
Yeah, we see Ropiece is high bombing in, followed by Morska. They're trying to land on whatever they can. Mopsy just now coming out of the shack. They managed to find Felt, Ropices, and Yerb collapsing on that player as Ropices does finally go down. The health on HRTeam is horrible right now. They're just now trying to get healed up and stabilize a bit.
They're putting on a scary amount of cap pressure.
Yeah,
I think they might. Allen Gaming might not know how big this disat is.
Yeah,
they get caught by this Uber.
Here it comes, they pop in, the demo's trying to bomb to see whatever they can catch up, but they manage not to collect anything except Hunter.
Yeah, Tony gets out. That's really huge there. They were really far forward, and yeah, you know, Bumbo feeding a bit there, but they're just looking to get this Uber. They have a ton of cap time.
Yeah, I mean...
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, Exile dying late as well. It's gonna make this hold a lot rougher. I mean, Morska did die late, but at the same time, he was standing on the point just collecting more cap time to the point that's already like about half cap.
Yeah, HRTeam's kind of feeding players in. I think they feel like they aren't going to be able to hold this against the Uber, so they were trying to go for some miracle plays.
Hunter's landing behind the entirety of HRTeam right now, but it doesn't matter. They don't have to get any picks with that Uber. I don't know if they got a single pick, but they got the cap, so they win the round. So I think the Uber was rather successful.
Yeah, I'm starting to pick up a theme here, Virgil. The team that wins mid is heavily favored. These teams are struggling to break out of disadvantage.
It's hard. This is a hard map to retake point on. The spam lanes are so strong, and it's tricky to get across point. Product has the advantage of spam lanes being blocked by the rocks in the center, but the crates do not serve the same function. Either way, we see Nimby bombing in.
This is really huge from HRTeam, actually. Yeah, this is looking like a clinic right now. Okay, the heals are stuck in shed for Tony and Dylan, but they are going to be able to sneak out in the end. But that was the cleanest mid. I feel every other mid's been a little scrappy and a little spammy, but that time HRTeam double bomb soldiers over to the right side, and then they picked off Yerb. Both lived and flanked. It was like that was like as good as a soldier mid as you could have.
Yeah, they kind of just crushed Yerb pretty quickly. There wasn't much 4-man could do. Either way, we actually see Tony getting piped as they try and get through Valley. It's going to delay Allen Gaming's push a good bit as he goes back to get packed. And as now the red soldiers bombing forward, they're taking a good bit of damage exchange with the blue ones, and looks like the blue Uber's coming out first, interestingly enough. Tony pops in response, and they're going to have the better Uber, so blue has to get out and reposition. The health of blue isn't looking too good either, with Exile only sitting at about 50 HP. Tony getting
into the skybox. Yeah, I was going to say, a better Uber for Allen Gaming, but nobody's in position to clean up, and now it's just a scatter.
Yeah, but Nimby with a huge flank. Oh, the health is so bad on HRTeam, but Nimby caused so much of a disruption with his flank that Allen Gaming just couldn't coordinate and collapse on a single target, so none of the hurt players were able to get finished off. Now Tony running through main, trying to escape with his life, and he will be able to live. But still, they're gonna have to wait for their spawners to continue the fight. That was really solid by Nimbia. Like I said, he's had some really good flanks so far.
Yeah, his timing's really solid too. He's always going in right when the dry fight's initiating. Speaking of which, dry fight's initiating. Both teams don't have Uber and they know it. And a lot of damage going out on the top left roof right now.
Yeah, it looks like that damage is being pretty evenly exchanged. Row piece is going down though, ends up bombing into the entirety of the
A
blue
great arrow
combo.
from Mopsy onto Crave. It's actually gonna, this might be a big decider here. 2 picks now for AG, and they could have been down a demo on HRTeam.
Yeah, but Cray ends up running forward, trying to block the cap, and he's gonna lose his life for it. Now, Mopsy looks like she wants to take the exchange, extend her team's cap time as much as she can, and it's exactly what she does. However, Red uses so much later, and Mopsy is still so forward ahead, she might end up getting caught out by the U-Bird. She manages to get out through house, but it looks like Exile is gonna be trying to give up his life for it. No, he doesn't get cleaned up.
Oh,
as the
they're
Red
committing forward into yard. This looks like it might be a full team commit here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about this. I don't think this is a fight that Red can commit this many players into when they don't have spawn advantages.
But it wipes
them.
They
do wipe them, that's true.
That was the element of surprise in a nutshell. Nobody on the HR team thought they were going to cross that door, and 6 people just flooded through and wiped them. Yeah, that was a huge collapse from Allen Gaming, and that's going to get them back on the board. They also recapped this point before blue team got to 0-0-0, so they have definitely more of a fighting chance to come back this round as the 4-man comes in.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're 4-manning just yet, considering Tony doesn't have his Uber just yet. Tony only sitting at 75%. I think Mopsy runs ahead. Mopsy's actually on crits right now. She's sitting at 50% herself. Tony's sitting at 90% on stock Uber, though. They're going to have to try and bait out this Uber as Tony begins to get up. He's moving forward with this team. And we do have one player, I believe that's Nimby, sitting behind, waiting for the call from his team on when to collapse onto Tony. And it looks like Mopsy is so far forward. Oh no. I think they might have thought that Tony died.
Yeah, no, they caught Mopsy with it, so now this should be just a feed-in from blue team trying to collect whoever and whatever they can. And a great ball from Nimby is going to pick up the medic and damage the scouts enough for, like, that was like they had to collapse there, and when you collapse there, you never expect to wipe them. So that was a really good bomb from Nimby.
I do want to say there was something interesting happening. Cray actually was on Quickie Bomb Launcher. I think they were trying the strat of crits Quickie Bomb, because the speed at which the sticky comes out can sometimes be faster than most medics can react. So I think they were trying to catch Tony off guard at that. But they weren't able to by the time Tony used in on them. Mopsy is sitting on stock Uber now, and Dylan goes down to a rocket from Nimby pretty early on, with Ropies is now bombing and trying to see if he can get some damage on to Mopsy. He does, but Mopsy's gonna live with 70 HP.
Yeah,
and
turning
now
into a 4-man here. Oh, Hunter hits the pipe, so they should just be bailing now. So yeah, they're just gonna dip out. Yeah, really solid pipe from Hunter to clean up Mopsy there on that bomb, and honestly, they're so far forward in yard, they might be able to retake this for free before they get their heals back. Yeah, they keep getting picks.
Yeah, they're just cleaning up on her players who don't have a medic to heal them. Yeah, Magma ends up cratering as well after being bombed by row pieces, and that's going to be the last of the players from blue team.
Yeah, 1 minute 30. So you see that them recapturing that point at a minute really mattered because they got it down to 6 seconds. So we're looking at maybe HR teams got 1 4-man in them, 1 trade, and then after that it's going to be a total scrap. So they have a pretty low margin for error here as Nimby sets up to go behind, and he's in clean.
Ooh, he's actually baiting behind right now. Both soldiers sitting in house. It looks like they're just trying to get some people from red team to draw back. Yeah, Tony actually sitting on the left side of point, not where you really expect the medic. As Cray goes down, they finally get on the medic of Tony, but nah, Nimby isn't able to do much. Both scouts come back to help Tony. But that's alright, they have their Uber in a couple seconds. Mopsy just now coming up on it. Nimby spawning in 1 second.
Again. Hiding in the other team's shed is like, it's a bit of a surprise, but to do it back to back, they could get punished here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is something we saw last season when we played with Tony walrex, but Tony ends up getting dropped to Cray! Really good pipes coming out from Cray as the Uber does come out from Mopsy, and now it's just a matter of cleaning players up and saving her own. We see Yerb and Morska both going down as well. Dylan and Hunter only sitting at 85 health. And now that's going to be the point swap, and they have to delay point as long as they can. 3 seconds left. Both players are going to die. No one's left to contest.
It was just like that. They played the same trick spot 2 times in a row, and Cray was on it, redded, and dropped the medic for it.
Yeah, that was clean. That was so clean from Cray.
All right. That was a pretty compelling half there. I just want to say that last one was definitely a bit more back and forth. Teams I think they're starting to learn the hold patterns of each other, and they're kind of breaking these stalemates a little better. But right now, you know, I am seeing some big plays. I'm seeing Cray run in some very funny weapons, but he's doing a pretty good job with it. Nimby's flanks have been really impactful for HRTeam, and it definitely won them a couple fights at this point.
Oh yeah, no, Nimby's flanks have been very, very solid. I think that like even if he doesn't get a lot of picks, he can usually get a pretty solid amount of damage, and that draws enough eyes for his team to be able to walk forward and make use off of the space. And his team
So
is doing very good in doing that.
I think we should have a little extra analysis here. We do have a guest analyst. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hey.
Hi,
Hi.
this is
Hello.
What
What's
did
up?
you see in that half? I need to hear from the best, TF2's best and brightest.
uh, I'm just gonna say these Cray and Exxon are just star players, back-to-back championships. They've been carrying HRT on their back. Oh my goodness, Cray is so stupid sometimes, but he's the dumbest part. When
Cray
he
being a
dropped,
little goofy, but yeah,
a little
what
bit
do you
goofier. He started with the lock and load, and he was hitting everyone.
I will say that does remind me. I definitely remember a lot of team fights. Exile just goes in, pumps out damage, goes down to 10 health or less, and backs up and gets arrowed on repeat. Like he's playing a fine line on Scout right now, but he's been getting rewarded for it more often than not. Allen Gaming just does not seem to be able to clean him up when they really need to.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the soldiers on this map are kind of important, but I feel like Nimby and Pearl had like more time bombs, Like Nimby's just been doing like great with those bombs. He's just distraction after distraction. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm almost a little surprised. Neither soldiers on Allen Gaming really seem to be playing a distraction role. They both seem to be playing heavy spam, heavy in and out, but nobody's really flanking as much as I would have thought. I guess Bumbo is the roamer. Like, I mean, if there's any indicator that I can't tell, I can't even really tell who's the roamer. But it just seems that whichever soldier goes in, even if they try to go behind, they do not live very long at all.
I think they're playing clear code at like a DM server, which is fine, but usually if you go behind, kinda sick as a soldier. Kinda beast. Kinda beast.
2 health packs, put them together, you're full health, lots of corners to play with. It's a strong position. I think if there's any adaptation I want Allen Gaming to make in this next half, I do want to see at least one of their soldiers abusing the flank a little bit more heavily. And I guess the counter is they also start committing maybe sometimes scouts play top left on the battlements to deny soldiers from jumping behind. Maybe see a little bit more from that just to, exit out this NIMBY factor.
I don't know, I feel like they have to commit to 2 things, either behind or just get one of the combo players. I feel like they've been not doing that well, so.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been talking a lot about HRTeam. I do think folks in Allen Gaming they're doing solid, of course. I think Tony's been doing an exceptional job. Really, both medics, but Tony, I think I haven't even checked the logs, but I'll just go out on a limb and say he has fewer deaths. If he has more, it's because they've just been losing in general.
Yeah, he does have a couple more deaths, but both medics have been playing incredibly well. I think Tony especially just has consistently good positioning, but there's been a few times post Ubers he's been able to get caught out. I think the Ubers from Red have been generally better, but interestingly enough, a lot of times we've seen them clean up Mopsy, and then just get collapsed on in the post, and they don't seem really ready for it. And that's definitely hurt them a good number of times, and I think that's where a lot of Tony's deaths have come from, because he does have 4 deaths after charge as opposed to Mopsy's 1 death after charge. So I think right now what Allen Gaming, one of the big factors alongside not getting quite as much value out of their soldiers as HRTeam is getting out of, is it seems that HRTeam is just playing the post fights better. Even if Allen Gaming tends to have better Ubers, HRTeam is able to play positioning and collapse on Allen Gaming a lot more effectively than Allen Gaming is able to do to them.
All right, and that takes us right into our next half as both teams get ready to roll out, and we'll see who does the most damage first. See what guns Cray are running. He looks like he's doing a...
He's loose cannon. He's
cannon.
spamming the other shack with loose cannon, but no player went there, so he got no value out of it. And now he's going to be using loose cannon.
Immediate double bomb from Allen Gaming. A ton of damage, but no picks. They finally pick up Mopsy, but that was, I think, not what they were hoping for exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the entirety of Allen Gaming all came in trying to get Mopsy, but unfortunately they can't protect Tony in return, so Tony ends up dying with them. I think they were trying to collapse on them, but unfortunately I think they didn't really know what HRTeam's positioning was as well as they thought they did, because a lot of HRTeam was able to kite the collapse and live as opposed to Allen Gaming.
I'll say, picking up Mopsy is nice, though. It means they don't have to start with a 4-man here. They are taking the dry fight, and with Pelt going behind this time, and once again, nobody on Allen Gaming going to meet him. Nimby doing a nice distraction bomb into Shed. Gets picked up, but Pelt gets in onto Tony. It was such a great distraction from Nimby. I wasn't even paying attention. Pelt gets in onto Tony, and yeah, blue team, they're going to give up the point here, but to protect their medic, they know it's worth it for Uber.
Yeah, Mopsy kind of in a precarious situation. It looked like she was about to be flanked by Dylan for a second, but he ends up decommitting. But now he's just now like getting onto Mopsy, tries to style on her a little bit, but isn't able to, gets cleaned up a little too quickly to get his shots off. Mopsy now sitting comfortably at 100% Uber charge with no scout on red. It looks like they're going to be willing to give up a lot of space. They actually end up popping the demo bombing deep into Valley. He's going to be catching off Tony, but Tony gets the pack, and it looks like Craig isn't going to be able to hit his shots this time. Tony's going to live there. Worst guy goes down as well, but 2 for 1. That's going to be a favorable exchange for Allen Gaming as they begin to refight. Tony sitting at 50% with Mopsy only at 2%. 3 people down for HRTeam. That's going to be a pretty comfortable retake from Allen Gaming.
Oh, Bell's forward, right? But he's going to get out. Yeah, Allen Gaming looks like maybe they're a little scattered right now. They don't want to push this advantage. They just want to get a foothold in the ground here. So they know they have Uber ad, they know they're expecting the 4-man. And it looks like they're opting to play outside the shed in a more, standard position.
Yeah, and it looks like both soldiers are bombing in, seeing the positioning from Tony. They're going to try and get some damage off him, but neither of them are able to hit Tony with even a lick of damage as the rest of the HRTeam players come in. Magma only sitting at about 100 health. He does manage to end up getting taken down just then by Dylan. And that's the 4-man.
That was
Tony. I don't think Tony took a single point of damage.
Yeah, he was moving like a savant. Great defense from Allen Gaming, and I mean, it's even like, it's like every second Pelt and Nimby play together, they just become more and more in sync. That's scary, but it was a really good defense from Allen Gaming to just knock them out of the park.
Yeah, as we do see, the even Uber exchange is about to come up. Mopsy is moving forward with Exile and her Demo. They're trying to get as much damage as they can out, and both Ubers end up getting popped. They're almost dead even. Looks like both teams are trying to figure out how to position in the post, with Cray putting down really good stickies on the point to deny Allen Gaming's positioning.
He was unseen in the flank, but as soon as he rocket jumps, everybody turns around and denies him. He's going back into the back lines. He's coming back out with 10 health, though. He is not baiting anybody, but he's gonna die for it.
Yeah, and it looks like Allen Gaming now being down both Dylan and rope pieces, they're just going to try and get out. And get out they do, now just sitting in Valley with only a bit of spam from HRTeam coming into Valley. Even Ubers yet again. We see one scout actually managed, or not a scout rather, but Moriska's actually sitting inside Shack, waiting for an opportunity to jump through it seems.
Well, Cray has Shack trapped up, down, left, and right, so that's not happening.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like Moriska has any opportunity there. Neither team's really playing aggressive quite yet. It looks like everyone's just rotating as Pelt and Nimby both bomb in. However, just slightly out of sync. Pelt gets focused on first and then Nimby. That's going to be both blue soldiers going down. As HRTeam looks like they're electing to try and delay point for Uber charge, and use them they do. Tony popping in just a few seconds later as Red's now going to have a slightly better Uber with no soldiers on the side of blue. Red's going to be taking the point in the Shack, getting a lot of spam with Magma and Cray both going down. Looks like Mopsy managed to get out safely though, as they do have one scout chasing them, but Pelt's gonna double direct Europe as he tries to escape.
Yeah, this round has been neck and neck. The timers are both around 1 minute with Allen Gaming pushing ahead, and with no clear Uber advantages coming out, should just be another dry fight. Both teams are just fighting tooth and nail here.
Yeah, huge bomb actually. I don't think anyone saw Nimby get in behind. Looks like Allen Gaming isn't really responding to his presence at all. One spawner from Red may catch him out, but we're just gonna see what Nimby elects to do. Exile goes down, or it was Pelt behind rather, and he does get taken out. Nimby sitting on the top of the Shack, trying to get some damage out, as it looks like both Pelt, Exile, and Cray all dead now. Is going to call HRTeam to kite back. We see Nimby trying to jump around a little bit, see if he can get any damage out. Manages to get one rocket onto the scout.
10 seconds, this is it. Both teams are just rushing in, but they don't. HRTeam doesn't even have Uber. This whole push looks like it's doomed to fail.
Yeah, Tony's been building very well. Well, see, I think she's breaking the beam a lot to Arrow, and it's resulted in her just not having Uber nearly as quickly as
Gaming
Tony.
did give them Uber. They thought it was even, so they held back. So
Yeah.
there is a glimmer of hope here.
Tony not running the head. Either way, we do see the Ubers come out, and it looks like the health on blue is very poor right now. Exile just going down. Mopsy wasn't able to get the arrow to him in time. Ropiece is getting traded out, but Cray also going down alongside Nimby and Pelt. That's going to be all she wrote, likely. Tony does get cleaned up, but I don't know if there's much that...
No.
Mopsy and
Magma
Magma.
had to pull out his inner clockwork for that one, but can't always. And that's going to even the score 2-2. That one was just brutal neck and neck. Yeah, it seems like these teams are definitely kind of picking up the offense, and the medics are dying a little bit more regularly here. No team's really amassing a clean Uber advantage that they can run down the clock with, so I think that's what's on each other's minds right now, is how can we keep our medic alive? Oh, as we say, Pelt goes down really early, and without doing much damage, how is HRTeam even going to play this mid?
Yeah, it looks like they're actually just electing to give up a lot of space and finally send Nimby in behind and try and work off the fact that Nimby is going to be drawing eyes. They managed to get a lot of good damage onto Ropieces and Hunter with Nimby coming into the collapse. He gets one good rocket onto Tony, but isn't able to finish him off with the team not really being there to support him as Exile had just gone down at the same time. Looks like Pelt's going to try and clean up on Tony just as well. Tony actually going down rather low, but no one's really able to go in. It's actually Cray just soaring in!
Everybody's getting this. Tony!
Oh, he almost got him, but he couldn't. Yeah, it looks like HRTeam hard sold out for Tony, and they didn't even kill him. They just kind of sent people in one by one.
Yeah, that was a little desync in the team there, and you see the effects of that desync. Everybody just feeding in a line. Nimby going for a high bomb. Oh, he lives. He lands on the peg. Good move.
Excellent. I think his choice to live was a good choice.
It was close. It was close. Soldier trade out on the left side while the heals push right. Roof control is going to be a big deal here, as we see one of the Red Scouts get up to control it as Cray tries to spam him off.
Yeah, it looks like Mopsy's getting ready for the Uber exchange. Or Dylan rather begins to run in. He ends up not having to actually get forced early. Tony having a much longer Uber as Mopsy and Exile begin to reposition themselves. But however, we do see Blue sitting at player disadvantage, so we see a lot of collapse coming out from Allen Gaming, finding 3 picks in the post. And that's going to force HRTeam to escape while they still can.
Yeah, Allen Gaming is just playing a slow and controlled game right now. They're not pushing their advantage too hard, but they are just constantly winning these small picks and these small fights, and they're just keeping cap time.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of doing so. I think they're doing well knowing when they can overextend a player and when they can, and as such they just aren't losing a lot of people. We see Yerb and Exile getting traded out. It's going to be the scouts down on both teams. Paladin's up dying as well. Dylan kind of has these soldiers' numbers right now. I don't think neither Nimby nor Pelt have been able to do quite as much as they would like. I don't know if
Nimby's doing actually a ton
right
now.
Yeah, Nimby's actually, as I say that, Nimby doesn't finish damage, yeah. Yeah, and they actually managed to trade out the cap as well. Mopsy sitting at 100% Uber, Tony just coming in on his. It looks like the exchange is going to be coming through. Mopsy elects to use first, Tony milking to about 50 health for himself, and that's going to be the exchange. Mopsy's going to look to back up as Uber's just now in. Ropieces bombs his own check, trying to get some damage on the scout. Magma's going to go down, getting traded
like
from
Morska.
Morska.
From Blue, and Pelt is going to pick up Tony. And with numbers advantage here, even though they have bad health, Exile feeds forward. This could get awkward. They are favored to just clean them up here, but if they mismanage, there goes Pelt.
Yeah, no, Mopsy doesn't have a lot of defensive classes that can play around her. No scout.
2 great shots from Dylan.
And Mopsy gets taken down to the Pirates and Hunter.
Oh my goodness. Allen Gaming in the scrap. They should have just been wiped out, but they ended up doing the reverse and getting the med in the end.
Yeah, it's going to give Tony about 25% Uber ads. They delayed the spawns for their medic, and Allen Gaming still down 3 players, but HRTeam at Uber disadvantage is just going to make this hold rough, and especially because Allen Gaming has less than a minute on the clock. We do see a Kritzkrieg in play coming from Mopsy yet again. I don't know how effective this is gonna be. I don't know, because Mopsy should be having the crits about the same time Tony gets Uber. Tony is building well.
Ooh, Tony is hurt, but Allen Gaming, they played these Ubers very passively so far, so there is a chance that they let them get the crits and get used into here.
Yeah, Tony actually already coming in on Uber as Mopsy's only sitting at 80% on her crits. Both soldiers down for Blue. If they crit now, it's not going to be the best opportunity. It looks like they're going to wait for their soldiers to respawn and just give up the point in the meantime.
Right now, crits is, unless this is just a god sticky from
Cray.
Crit,
It doesn't
it
hit
was
anything.
so close.
Oh,
But just like that, this should be a wash now. Full Uber is that they might not even need to use. Here comes the soldier bombs to put on the pressure.
yeah, they didn't actually have to pop at all. Tony just didn't bother walking into the stickies, and you now see the 4-man coming in for Tony. Everyone trying to get on into the last one that he popped.
He does use in the end. I mean, this is by no means a upsetting use from Allen Gaming. They were just trying to push it really hard, but there's 12 seconds. Mopsy's not going to get Uber in time. They're actually taking the fight into them.
Yeah,
Maybe getting
now,
punished.
yeah, it looks like it is. As Hunter went down, is now Full and HRTeam are able to get through and start the cap time for themselves. There's no demo and scout to deny it. You see Yerb going down as well, trading off her pelt, but that's a favorable exchange for HRTeam here. Mopsy's just not coming on her crit. Yeah, he's trying to do what he can, but he's trying to find a soldier with heals, and he's gonna end up decommitting. Good fight from HRTeam, good punish.
Difficult situation for HRTeam though, is they're still on crits. There's really no reason Allen Gaming doesn't just get the Ruber and use it in here.
Yeah, no, I think really HRTeam needs to be playing aggressive with the crits, but it looks like they're electing not to. Opsy and Cray just spamming stickies right now. They finally end up popping crits, but it's after Tony gets Uber. And they end up getting 2 picks though. Rope pieces and here both go down. Cray's gonna be exchanged out here, but those 2 picks are gonna be huge.
And there comes Nimby with the flank. Big damage on the combo. And it's collapsed on. Hunter's just gonna get cleaned up on the side there. And there goes Tony to fall damage. Wow. I think you hit the nail on the head during halftime, but post fights from HRTeam are just clean with these bombs from Nimby with the collapse in the end.
Yeah, no, I think the combo from HRTeam does a really good job of kiting out to the Uber when they need to, and it doesn't look like Allen Gaming really brings their demo in on Ubers, and as a result, they can't really catch up players as much as they would like.
Well, here comes, they know it doesn't need to be a 4-man because they aren't dealing with Uber here. Oh,
yeah, Mopsy is at 90% right now. We see 1 soldier behind, but a lot of cap time coming up from Allen Gaming. Blue needs to elect to stop point as they trade out Europe and get 3 picks really quickly. Pelt's being exchanged though.
Tony's so far forward with no help. You know Exile's gonna chase him to the end of the earth. Rope Pieces is going for the save, but he's 3v1'd. He's pinned. Yeah,
it looks like Exile actually decided to let Tony live there as well. We need to see if they're going to be able to clean up Rope Pieces. It looks like they're sending a good few players back to deal with him. He's getting wrapped right now, and that's a really late death. That's going to hurt Tony's refight a good bit. We see Allen Gaming getting a bit of cap time, but with Rope Pieces down, they end up finding Yerb as well. Nigma going down, and Exile as well.
Great focus fire on the scouts. It was fantastic focus fire on the scouts. Pelt going forward on Engineer. If they lose this round, Pelt's going to be looking really bad.
He's going to look really silly, yeah, no. The fight is still going on, though. Pelt just now goes down, and Tony ends up popping his Uber. And that's the round.
I'm not going to blame it on Pelt. That was in no ways Pelt's fault, but his soldier there might have saved it, is all I'm trying to say.
Maybe we can never really be too sure, but that Engineer does look rather silly now.
The thing that won Allen Gaming the round is they bomb point and they focus down the scouts 1-2. That was great focus fire, and those 2 picks just kind of led the way. As we go in, Cray just heavy spam on the red roof.
Both soldiers from Red end up coming in perfect unison. They try to get some damage onto Mopsy, but both players end up missing their rockets. Morsko just living with a sliver of HP. He manages to find, a scout pick there. As now it's a 1v3. Only Yerb left alive. He's gonna go for what he can, but isn't gonna be able to find much. Yeah, Rope Pieces, I don't think Mopsy even saw Rope Pieces. He landed right on her, but just wasn't able to hit the shot.
Yeah.
Player not looking at you is always gonna be the hardest to hit, I guess.
Nimby's and Pelt's counter double was fantastic. I think Nimby 2-shot the medic, or it might have been Pelt. But they just did so much damage, and I'm kind of surprised AG opted for that mid after it went so poorly last time. That said, they are opting to pressure forward, so not a traditional 4-man here. Looking for the 4s, and they get 2 picks.
And they managed to get it, but Tony is pretty far forward. He ends up managing to get out, though. We actually see the entirety of the blue Uber trying to get in deep to get him. Oh, man, barely misses the rocket onto Tony. And now it looks like Mopsy may be caught out. There's a soldier behind her. No, she has her scout to meet up with her, and they're going to be backing up and giving Allen Gaming the space they have earned on the point.
Yeah, Bumbo actually did a good job of kind of flanking the overextenders there. Picking up Cray when he went forward to kill the medic is going to make things a little easier, but Rope Pieces commits for Mopsy and goes down really quickly, and with no follow-up, he's essentially just, an opportunity for blue team to commit. A great bomb from Nimby puts a lot of damage on Hunter, but they can't clean them up.
Tony is so low. Oh, he holds that with 20 HP. Cray coming in last, and he pops. They really early. Tony is forcing HRTeam to give it their all every time they want to force. It's really impressive. He's able to juke so well and for so long.
Yeah, and this match has been a match of single digits. The health is so important, and everybody's living or dying by the smallest margin.
Right, as we do see Mopsy, because Tony did force, Tony is a 60% Uber ad. Thumbo going down pretty early.
Helped with the strategic straight up and down pencil distraction, gets the red soldiers to waste 3 rocks.
It's a strat to say the least. We see Mopsy ends up using it, and they do bomb the demo. Craig getting in deep, managed to catch up Tony.
Because they are totally caught
but Tony lives!
Tony lives!
Tony's like at his first
Tony lives!
He ends up getting taken out by Exile, but Mopsy ends up committing forward. She does get taken out. That's another situation of the post-fight not going as well as they would like. Just a bit overextended. As soon as she saw her players commit on the medic, she didn't leave early enough. So Alan Gaming was able to get behind them, and they were able to clean them up. However, HRTeam ends up wiping Alan Gaming entirely and swapping the point.
Yeah, the Blue Scouts managed to coordinate together and pick up the last couple players on mid there. But yeah, Alan Gaming was caught really far forward there, and got caught by the Uber. A little uncharacteristic. Something must have got cluttered in comms. But right now, they're looking for another dry fight. It's looking to take space. It's been working out pretty well so far. They've been getting forward picks and leveraging it. So, but Tony's eating so much spam, just trying to move forward.
Yeah, this team is playing the slow fight, and for a medic, that just means you're going to be sitting in the spam lanes. Tony, only sitting at about 80 HP, as now damage is being exchanged relatively equally on both sides. Enigma needing an arrow coming from Mopsy, and both soldiers on blue are now heard. Everyone's getting healed up. It's a slow fight. Dylan and Exile getting exchanged. Yeah, you're a bit at enough of the slow fight. Mopsy ends up popping out. They know they have a bit of Uber ad on Tony. Will they be able to catch him out, though? Does not look like it. Tony getting out through main as the Ubers finally end. That will secure a little bit more couch time for blue, however, as they now try and clean up players before the red Uber comes in. Having a bit of trouble cleaning up Morska, they barely are able to get him. Now Mopsy just juking for her life, tries to surf out, but
Tony
doesn't get enough
is
vertical
forced
momentum.
at the end there by Magma. That was a great force by Magma. Alan Gaming was definitely hoping to clean them up for free and hold the Uber, but they are set up to control here, and with Nimby and Exile being so far forward, this is a bad off timing. Yeah, so they're opting to leave. They couldn't really get anything done. They should just re-heal and should see, well, probably another dry fight. Team doesn't have Uber, and these teams have shown they are both willing to just take space when the threat of Uber is off the table.
Yeah, it's even Uber situation yet again. I think both meds are indeed on stock. Yes, they are. Creating a bit of damage as soldiers from red trying to land on them. Row pieces ends up going down, only getting a bit of damage out. Nimby being exchanged in the meantime. I think it's a pretty good exchange for, it's pretty even, all things considered. Health actually goes down as well. Exile sitting at 30 health. It's a pretty rough fight for HRTeam, with Alan Gaming now sitting at a minute on the clock. Magma going down to the Sticky from Hunter. It looks like they're going to be giving up this fight and elect to take it with their spawners.
And they're definitely going to wait for their scout here, so I expect we got another 5 seconds burned off the clock. Timers are going to be evened up, and even Uber, once again, just a difficult position for a HR team to come back from.
Alright, let's see what we've got here. Both soldiers from red bombing in. They managed to drop the medic, sinking the rockets onto Mopsy!
No!
Oh, that was so clean, and now it's just a scrap fight, trying to get the force out of Tony in any way they can. We see soldiers high bombing, Tony kiting into the house. He's actually juking the soldiers so well.
Really smart from Tony. He is invincible. Craig just jumped in and cratered because he just, where's the medic?
Yeah, Nimby thought he was wrapping Tony, but Tony just wrapped him in response.
And with full ad in 5 seconds, this is a wrap.
Yeah, Tony pops Uber for the style at the end of it there. And yeah, that's gonna be all she wrote for Clear Cut. Alan Gaming taking it 4-2.
What a crucial draw from Mopsy. I think she did get synced. She did not have
a
minute to react.
She did get synced there. That wasn't a medic's reaction time fault. That was entirely 2 rockets take you from 150 to 0 within the same frame. There's nothing she could have done there. I mean, arguably maybe call out the soldier bombs from her scouts, but it was a rough play, and I think that Alan Gaming soldiers, that was a very impressive play. I know we were talking a good bit about HRTeam soldiers, but the synchronization from them just then was something we hadn't quite seen yet. Like, I think something that Alan Gaming did really well at the very end there was getting their soldiers to coordinate. There were so many times I saw them almost bombing in perfect unity, and when they did, their team was able to make a lot of space off of it.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I think what was really interesting is that HRTeam was, I think they were clearly dominant in the post-Uber fight, but Allen Gaming was clearly dominant in the scraps. You know, you take medics out of the equation, and Allen Gaming was coming out on top over and over again. And I think that's what really let them help, play the small ad game. As if they ever took a big hit, they'd return it, and yeah, they wouldn't lose much for it. You have any closing thoughts on that map?
Uh, yeah, I just want to talk about that engineer round. I thought that was kind of funny. I think if he was on Soldier there, they would have won that. And it's because everyone was just playing point, and it's just like a flat point. He could have made like 500 EPM, but he went engineer.
Yeah, it's definitely an unfortunate bit of hubris. He's probably saying we got it in the round, in the bag. Gonna go up to point, put a gun down, get under their skin.
I mean, I understand the theory. I like the theory. I think I would have done the same thing. But
Yeah,
if
I think a lot of people would.
All I'm gonna say is if he had came up heavy there, this might have been a different story.
I feel like if it was on Pyro, could have been better as well.
Just wrong place, wrong time for Pelt.
Yeah, but other than that, I think Alan Gaming was playing just better,
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
It's just, look, HRTeam has a tank. They have Exile. And he's just taking every heal, every over. He's trying to kill everyone. But Alan Gaming is just kind of smarter sometimes.
I will say, yeah, shout out to Mopsy, because I've been seeing her pumping out arrows left and right and center on basically everybody on her whole team. HRTeam soldiers, when they aren't committing behind, they'd like to do these high bombs and circle around. And that's a good distraction, but it puts a lot of stress on your medic. So Mopsy's been putting in a lot of work to keep those heals up. On top of Exile just constantly going deep. But yeah, to me, like what I'm really seeing the difference between these teams right now is their soldiers, and a lot of that's influenced because it was King of the Hill, it's clear cut, and the soldiers are just going into the skybox constantly. But the difference in playstyle I'm seeing is Pelt and Nimby have a much more distraction oriented, get them to look at us, juke away when they're not looking, commit. Kind of elegant playstyle. Meanwhile, Bumbo and Row Pieces are just the two-man nuke. Every time I've seen them go in, it's basically 300 damage and die. And, it's had its pros and cons, but it seemed to work out in the end, especially once they got into a rhythm where their picks started getting cleaned up.
I do have to agree with that. Bumbo is just a mega Chad. He's just playing like a Chad.
He really is. He just kind of walks into people and wins sometimes.
Yep. I do like that.
Yeah, I guess we can take a look at the stats now. Walrex, any stat lines you wanna comment on?
Let me pull these up. I've been neglecting the demos so much. But yeah, comparable stats. Both went barely negative. Both did over 300. I really do think both demos that game were kind of just doing their job. Controlling the roofs, doing good spam as teams walked forward. I can't remember anything particularly crazy coming out of either of them, aside from Cray running every unlock the demo has at some point. I think they were just both doing their job, keeping things locked down. Neither of them were feeding particularly hard. Cray sometimes, but it's usually a coordinated 4-man.
Yeah, I think in general the 4-mans were never quite as coordinated as I'd like to see. Cray usually coming in a little late for those 4-mans. But on the contrary, I don't think we ever saw a really big 4-man coming out from Allen Gaming. I think HRTeam was just in general more willing to sacrifice their lives to go for plays. And that did work out for them a good few times. It got them some Uber forces when they desperately needed it. But Allen Gaming, as a result, I think Allen Gaming just has a few like less deaths. I think about 20 total less deaths, and I think a lot of that does kind of come from those sacks that were coming in.
Yeah, I think the real decider in that second half there was when Allen Gaming had to retake the point, they would dry and they would get picks and they would get that force and they'd get out clean, and they were pumping that out clean and consistent. HRTeam was struggling. HRTeam, they would do their 4-mans. Tony would surf it. They would take their Uber trade, and in the first half, they were getting away with it, but in the second half, their Uber was 5 seconds worse, and they were getting punished. Not hard punished, and that is something I want to point out, is Allen Gaming, like, they're not playing the game I would. You know, if we get a better Uber, my opinion is crush them in Valley and wipe them out. But Allen Gaming was a lot more like, we have a better Uber, let's kill a couple flankers, and then they'll have to leave anyways. It's
Mhm.
you know, it's just kind of the slow and safe option, and it paid off for them in the end. But yeah, just the HRTeam's dry fights in the Uber exchanges, they were just getting shut down a little harder in the second half, and I think it really made all the difference. Their flankers were just getting caught out before they could get into position, and then everything which just sort of slowly fell away.
Yeah, I think both halves were a relatively similar story in the sense that the things that caused Allen Gaming to lose the first half, I think, were the same things that caused HRTeam to lose the second half. Their soldier coordination, we saw Road Pieces and Morska pick up the soldier coordination a good pick in the second half, and that helped them a lot. The post fights for HRTeam just weren't quite as good as Allen Gaming's post fights in the second half. Allen Gaming, instead of trying to overextend their med to get picks on the combo, like you said, they were just willing to get those flank picks and force them to leave, and just having numbers advantage in the post. And they were playing around that well. As a result, they were able to just play in a way that they were comfortable with, and HRTeam didn't really respond to that super well. I think in general, Allen Gaming has a very safe playstyle. No one really likes to overextend. They just kind of take space when they can, and they play safe. Yeah, and they've been able to play safe because they haven't really been forced to play any differently.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how process plays out, because this map can be as aggressive or as defensive as you want it to be. And as I say that, we are going live. Gonna see some interesting demo mids from Cray, I trust. He's always got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, I'm curious how Allen Gaming's going to play this. We played them in the pregame, and they played very passive mid, all things considered. As both demos actually arrived to mid-exchanging spam, and looks like the health is relatively even. Hunter sitting at slightly less health, isn't able to pick up his own pack. As now it looks like HRTeam is trying to figure out how they want to move across mid. It looks like they elect to walk across point, with the entirety of Allen Gaming now being corralled into a corner. It's just a matter of a collapse coming out from HRTeam, but instead Magma and Cray both go down. Exile actually finds 2 picks in exchanges before dying himself, as now Mopsy's electing to leave the fight as their players try and clean up whatever they can. Pelt trying to jump away, he meets up with his medic as Mopsy meets Hunter and Choke. The scout gets through and actually finishes him
There
off.
goes Mopsy. I think Mopsy was trying to get out with Pelt there, was probably better off just trying to ditch him, but that mid's gonna go down, second's gonna go down, and flat for last is looking good for Allen Gaming. That mid, I just want to say, Allen Gaming bunched up really hard on their right side of mid, and both soldiers from HRTeam high bombed, but both of them faded out. They didn't believe, and I think if they had both committed, that could have gone a different way.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that is another thing you mentioned at the half. HRTeam soldiers are more about drawing eyes, whereas Allen Gaming soldiers are about the commit. The Uber actually gets in really deep before being popped, as now the entirety of Red Team is trying to collapse on the blue combo. They manage to get a good bit of damage onto Cray, and he goes down, but Yerb and Hunter are traded out as well. Mopsy dying as well. The health on blue is really poor. Everyone's sitting below 30 HP, and Pelt.
Yeah, that was a dream mover. They got into point before they had to use, and they locked the demo in the corner for an easy kill. It was honestly closer than I would have thought, considering how good that Uber was, but just a good push from Allen Gaming. They picked the door that wasn't getting watched, and they got space.
With that, we're going to go into the next mid. Hunter getting to mid a little bit faster and getting a little bit more space. However, he's going to be spanned back by Nimby, as now sides are being exchanged. You see both teams taking their respective right corners.
Ooh. Pelt is doing a defensive flank from IT, and he's getting out. Oh, just late on the medic. His timing is just off, but he does good damage anyways. It is going to get Yerb, and it is going to get Hunter.
As the late bomb actually does come in from Nimby, Tony can't do much. He's sitting in the wrong choke. He's going to be taken down. Cray dies in response, and now it's just a matter of seeing if Bumbo can get onto Mopsy, but with 2 scouts sitting on the beam.
I'm sorry, I'm fanboying, because like the bait IT mid is, I mean, Pelt's not roamer, but it's one of my favorite mid. It's so goofy, nobody ever sees it coming, and then that happens, so I love to see it. There's a strong adaptation too, because they know they're going to go right side, they know they're going to rotate. And yeah, now they have that for last.
It's actually kind of interesting how unpopular the IT soldier mid is, considering how popular the cafe soldier is on Sunshine. But either way, we're coming in on full Uberrat for HRTeam as they look to try and take space. The gun just now coming up for Allen Gaming. They come in using, and they're now just trying to get picks after securing the gun. They aren't getting any tap time, nor are they getting any picks, as Nimby's actually the first casualty of this exchange.
Yeah, they should just be bailing now. Hunter did a immaculate job dodging that Uber. He got focused down it completely and didn't take any damage until the end. So really great job on Hunter, just negating that Uber.
Yeah, we actually see a soldier skip jumping through lower. I think that's a road piece. As he ends up getting taken down though, not really getting a lot of damage. Oh no!
That's gonna pick up Tony.
Oh, that's actually going to force the entirety of Allen Gaming back to us. They're trying to actually stay on second, see if they can find a med pick. They managed to sink onto Exile. Exile's dying to the stickies, and Hunter's getting piped.
Hunter's doing so much damage.
Hunter's taking the fight into his own hands and decides that no, he doesn't want to give up second. He wants to stay on second, and stay on second he does. But now he's being met with a scout.
Bumble, get back in here. I'm doing everything.
Is Bumbo coming in just a little bit late? Ropies is managing to clean up Nimby. Finally able to get that pick that they need, and it looks like Allen Gaming might actually just be able to retake second successfully. Yeah, HRTeam just not being able to peek through choke. It looks like they do want to fight it.
Oh, they are rushing and they are all fully buffed. This is a strong fight.
Morse going down, and Ropies just has to give up space.
I think Allen Gaming, they really don't want to give this up, but I think they do. But a pick onto Exile is pretty tempting, but this is still a dodgy fight. But with that one good rocket onto Magma, I think they finally retook the space. That was a really dodgy fight, but that pick up onto Exile, punishing his aggression, gave him the point. And
yeah, they're all playing kind of more blobby, it seems. Their combo is just staying closer together, so Exile can't just solo out a single target and pounce on them like he wants to. We do see the entirety of HRTeam actually giving up mid as well. They know Tony has about 20% Uberad, just not coming in on his Uber. Mopsy only staying at 80%. We'll have to see if anyone's able to get caught out, as Dylan does go down pretty late in the fight. Tony rather, is positioning near choke. It looks like he may be thinking about taking it, but he elects not to. As now we see a soldier stack coming in, but he gets piped!
Going for the raw bomb.
Big Hunter. Hunter's playing out of his mind right now. He is hitting every shot that he needs to hit. And it's single-handedly denying HRTeam from taking a lot of space. As we see a fake bomb coming in from row pieces, Morska tries to follow up, but he's able to. And Morska goes down to the crater. This is so sad.
Yeah, he did not want to die there. They really wanted to do some damage and take space. But not much is lost. They're basically just inviting a counter-sack here as Pelt lines himself up. Oh, I've died to that trap so many times. Yeah. But they pick up Magma in the flank. I didn't even see that. I think Magma died to that trap as well.
This is interesting positioning coming up from Mopsy, but oh my gosh, that soldier gets destroyed. And there's a lot of damage on the red players.
Yeah,
but
it was
they're
an early
so far
force
back.
on the Mopsy.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what I think Crave may have been a bit hurt, but there wasn't a lot of collapse. Either way, she uses the Uber, but now Tony is full of ad. We do see Dylan sniping as well, but the sniper is going to be pretty good for denying space. We're going to see what he can get.
The flank is doing a lot of damage, taking a lot of space. He goes down, but they get in for free because of it. But now they have to deal with being down 2 soldiers and a sniper. This is punishable. There goes Pelt.
Pelt gets body shot, tries to get some damage onto the medic.
And
isn't able to get much from Magma, He gets forcing Tony!
He gets the force. They are going to get second here, and they did get the sniper down, so the stalemate's not so bad, but...
Yeah.
Oh, they're not even... Yeah,
no. Cray sees what he can do, and he ends up getting behind.
Oh my goodness! Dude! Hunter! Oh, I was so sure he was going to die there! This is huge! This is huge for Allen Gaming. They can actually push last right now before they get Uber.
Yeah, no, they only have about 4 seconds before the spawner comes up now. It looks like they're not going to go fast. We do see Mossy sitting at about 40-50% Uberad. We're going to have to see how HRTeam elects to take this refight, considering how much later Tony used. They're kind of slowly rotating their heals through one, but they're getting double spam. This is going to be really hard to get through without losing a lot of health as Nimby ends up going down to the trap from Hunter. Soldiers are now bombing in. They're going to see if they can continue to get spam onto the blue medic.
Oh my God, the
taken
flank
out
on
as
HRTeam is getting demolished. This is just going to negate the Uber advantage. They lost their demo. Allen Gaming might just want to take an exchange here.
Yeah,
Bumbo was in through one. Huge damage, but no, it looks like they're just going to... They were leveraging it for a sec, and they're going to call it.
Right on.
Slow the game down. Process is as fast or as slow as you want.
I don't know about the go through one. It's so easy to spam. Either way, we actually see HRTeam trying to get aggressive so that they can get a stack in onto Tony, but Nimby not able to find much. Europe sniping as well. That's going to put them in a bit of a precarious situation. Sniper on process, pushing into last is pretty strong. A lot of angles you can peek from and a lot of ways you can get onto the medic. I'd like to see a gun coming out from HRTeam here, but it doesn't look like that's what they're going to do. We see a soldier of row pieces rotating towards 5. He's going to be met by the flank of HRTeam, but not much else is going to happen.
Yeah, they still have nobody getting up the gun, and I will say this anti-sniper hold from Mopsy is just not very good without a gun to deny bomb. That said, they get Europe down immediately, so they can move out of that position, but I could see that coming back to bite them later on in the match if that happens again.
Yeah, either way, we are going to see how Nimby tries to get a nice bomb from Nimby. He surfs on, straight on to Tony. He manages to get a good rocket off him, but Tony doesn't fear. He holds his Uber. I like that bomb. I thought that was a really nice bomb from Nimby.
Yeah, it is a nice high bomb. Crisp 2 rockets. It is what it is, though.
Yeah, but even still, a medic on point is generally pretty hard to pick off, even with a good high bomb.
I mean, Mopsy is still kind of...
We have Morska on Spy. We have Morska on Spy.
Ooh, it is the aggressive Spy, so...
Yeah, he's making his way through IT right now, so it'll be a bit before he's properly in position, but I'm excited to see if... hopefully he doesn't get randomly caught out here. I don't think he's disguised right now. He's just standing around as a little bald spy. He finally puts on his disguise, disguising as a friendly sniper. But Exile and Pell go down!
And Nimby's on sniper, and he misses what I assume was basically his one hero shot.
No, he's still on sniper right now. He's trying to deny as much space as he can. In fact, it's interestingly enough, we
Gaming's not pushing.
Yeah, they're setting up for their spy play instead. We see one spy getting through and actually getting and they get the force as well.
Mumbo whiffs his stab and dies.
Yeah, but Alan Gaming still sitting on full Uber ad. We're gonna have to see if they can get in. No, not a lot of damage onto Tony. Nimby doing everything he can, but it's just not gonna be enough. Nimby actually even has a late spawn. Enigma getting up and trying to spawn with an engineer, but it's not gonna be too long before Alan Gaming comes in with that full Uber ad.
Yeah, it's gonna stalemate out again. I'm a little disappointed. I would have loved to see the exchange in the post-Uber Spy. Another one of my favorite plays in the playbook, but I think Alan Gaming kind of froze. They really wanted Bumbo in if they were going to take an exchange.
Yeah, I just don't think they were quite ready for HRTeam to drop 2 players. Either way, Mopsy now at 50% Uber with Alan Gaming coming in.
They are playing. They used way earlier. They know that. Or did they get a saw? Because this is huge ad.
No, they've just been building, and Alan Gaming took a while to come in. Yerb and Dylan both going down, only being traded out for Cray, and Tony dies late in the fight. That health looking really bad on Alan Gaming, all players sitting below 70 HP, except for the demo of Hunter. It looks like we are going to see row pieces getting into lobby, think it can catch out just anything, but there's not much there to catch out. Tony's still dead. This should be a relatively easy second take for HRTeam. They're just waiting for Cray and Nimby to come up.
This is the classic push out of process, which is you just hold last until they mess up.
Yeah, it's pretty standard for process. They all managed to get through with no threat of a back cap. We actually see one player going behind.
Is trying to put the pressure on, but
Cray
Cray
catches
is
him
watching
out.
He's still alive, but shouldn't be for long.
Yeah, they all know. Yeah, they're still ad for HRTeam as well. Looks like they're going to start walking through choke, and with one soldier down, this should be a relatively easy take. The trap is dead. We're gonna have to see if Morska elects to do anything. Going around to the side, he managed to get a bomb in. But Mopsy,
quick meat shot from Exile and Mopsy with the speed. Yeah, that was. He did not have a chance.
Yeah, either way, we do see Tony just not coming in on Uber, but we're gonna have to see how well Mopsy's been counting Uber for his help. It looks like they know it should be evening out here as the sack does come in. Pelt actually just now trying to make space as Nimby.
Here comes Nimby.
Oh, that was so close.
He
really
read
good
that
surf
so
by Tony.
cleanly. So close.
Yeah, really nice surf by Tony. I think it was just the verticality of the rocket. That was so close to hitting Tony.
I don't know, man. After I see a sack
Bumbo
like
Spy
that...
Part 2. Somebody's disguising as a friendly sniper. They're trying to strat again. Bumbo's being seen right now as a friendly sniper, hoping that HRTeam will just assume that he is on sniper, and it kind of looks like they're playing like they think he is on sniper.
Yeah, I think they're taking the bait.
Yeah, they're rotating to sewer right now, but that's exactly where Bumbo is playing, and looks like they're playing right into this place. No! Oh, but he's
running for his life.
He's just fucking living. Excuse my language, but man, he's living.
So that's really not great for Alan Gaming, but they don't really leverage that pick very well. They do just send Nimby for the single sack.
Yeah,
so,
I will say something that we've seen for a bit now is it doesn't seem like HRTeam is really doing a lot when they have chances to sack. They're just kind of throwing in their roamer rig in over and over, and I just don't think much is going to happen with the solo roamer sack. A lot is happening in sewer, however. We did see Pelt rather, going down to just a sliver of HP, but with the assistance from his scout in exile, he's able to live. Because now we have to wait and see what HRTeam elects to do. Neither team has any interesting off classes, so...
Yeah, I think they are still... Oh, no. They're committing their flank through IT. Here comes the flank pressure. They're trying to get behind. Nimby took a lot of early damage, though, so he's gonna dip.
Ropius is actually wrapping in the meantime. He's trying to get some jumps in to get through, but he's able to get through fast enough before the flank notices him. And
do get
able
back,
to
and getting a scout is better than getting a soldier, but since he traded out, they're probably not going to play off that pig. I say as Bumbo hides in IT and picks up 2. That's a push. That is a
that
push.
Is so rough. I wonder if HRTeam's going to elect to take the Uber exchange. They're actually holding close. This is going to be so bad. They don't have scouts.
It's the Pelt exchange?
There's no way. No, in fact, Tony's playing this so smart. He's just ready to get behind Mopsy so that they can catch her out in the post. Oh, but they just aren't quite quick enough.
Mopsy does link up with the scout.
Damage out. Very nice, sir. Oh, that was so close there. Magma goes down in the post as well. Pelt gone as well. We do see Nimby trying to see if he can get in with a quick rollout, but not much is going to happen as HRTeam has to give up the space that they had on mid.
Yeah, they really wanted to try and fight choke, but that pressure from Bumbo and Sewer is basically going to get them to back off. I'm never going to advocate for the Pelt exchange, but Mopsy did get out, so...
Yeah, but I think that was more a bad play from Allen Gaming. If they had just wrapped behind them a good bit, they could have secured the Mopsy pick. Either way, we're going to see Allen Gaming coming into second, seeing if they can take space, but HRTeam is hesitant to give it up. They know that there's nothing really saying what they need to as they begin to retake the space, and Allen Gaming is going to be willing to leave second. However, Nimby does die on the flank to Morska, and it looks like Exile might die as well. No, you're... not much you can do against the scout with the beam.
Oh!
Ooh, Ropius is eating a huge direct.
Yeah, they're bleeding in IT a little bit, but looks like things are going to even out here. Yeah, and Allen Gaming did have like tiny ad from using first, but obviously they're not going to play on it. And waiting for Europe. Oh, they're not waiting for Europe.
No, it looks like they may have just they knew Europe was up soon. Oh my gosh! That was a bomb.
I like this. I like this a lot. If he knew Yerb was rolling out on sniper right now,
Tony as well. Pelt bombed in at the same time.
Nimby. Oh, Nimby, this is so great.
And he's just getting out. Nimby just causing so much chaos behind. He's living. They actually managed to find rope pieces as well. And Nimby bringing 2 players back. That's going to be a clean mid pick from HRTeam.
Yeah, they're getting in choke for free. I love that play.
Good, Nimby.
Bumbo goes in for the air shot.
Yerbone sniper, run to see if he's gonna be able to do anything. Oh no, he actually just spawned scout. Mopsy down low, and she drops to the scout! Oh, that's so
and he
bad.
gets the demo too. Dylan just walked up right side. Nobody could see him below the crate and just weasels 2 picks on the combo.
Oh, that is so rough. No.
And unlike Clear Cut, there's no high skyboxes and clean ways for the soldiers to just get onto Tony right now. So, yeah, they're just going to have to concede second and have full disad for last. No, Pelt gets caught in rollout. It's just going to make it that much easier for Allen Gaming. I was going to say leverage Sloppy, but it looks like they're going to try it in 1. It is free yet again. No trap from Cray. And it's looking like a repeat of the first round they won. Oh my god, with Dylan body blocking the heavy before he can get into spawn.
Yeah, clean Uber. They managed to get 4 picks with that Uber. That was so good.
That was just, it was looking so good for HRTeam, but just 1 scout sneaking in through the flank, and it was all over, so.
Yeah, oh man, it's heartbreaking to see Nimby's play good away. There really is. That was so good from Nimby, but Dylan with a really great play of his own. Both soldiers fast rolling out. It looks like actually Nimby doing the counter fast rollout to help his demo. Really smart decision making from him.
With barely any help, and that.
Oh my gosh, good rockets coming out from Nimby. Nimby doing a lot of work on this mid, saving his demo and then getting good damage on the hunter, so Exile was able to clean him up. As that's actually going to be the cue, I believe, for Allen Gaming to leave with 1 soldier actually in. Oh!
No, that was Yerb. Yerb just walks in again and murders Pelt, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, the scouts are all in gaming. Like anytime it looks like they're at a disadvantage, they just walk forward and decide that no, they want to win the fight.
Yeah, this is getting a little dangerous for HRTeam because it looks like Allen Gaming is starting to get confident.
They are, yeah. We see the soldiers from blue trying to jump in and see what they can do, but Nimby ends up getting taken down. It was a little bit greedy by Nimby, but they're sitting at even Ubers on last. It's understandable. Yeah, as we see Dylan actually running in through 4 right now. It looks like he's just gonna be through all the way to heaven.
There's no way this ever works. But it is a small distraction for Bumbo getting in through 1.
Yeah, Bumbo getting really good rockets.
And it's close.
Oh, that was so close.
I will say I like that. It looks like Nimby and Pell. I'm not entirely sure what they were doing because I wasn't watching, but assuming they were counter-sacking as that play was going on. That's good timing, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way process works. It's really just all on Allen Gaming right now, as we see Dylan spawning on Sniper.
Trying to keep track of how many people have spawned on Sniper for Allen Gaming at this point. I know both scouts did. I know Bumbo disguised as a Sniper.
Yeah, but he was on Spy, so count that if you will, but he wasn't actually on Sniper. We actually see Dylan getting really deep in through 1. He has a chance to shoot Mopsy, but just isn't able to hit the shot as he then leaves 1.
This is what I'm scared of.
Exile's on Spy. This is pretty good counterplay.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually making his way on to Tony right now. He gets
it! Oh my goodness! Wow. Yeah, they totally didn't expect that. I guess nobody spotted that he was missing at last, and he gets in clean. You know, I've seen people go for that spy play so many times, and it never worked. That was like a needle in a haystack play for HRTeam to give them a leg back into this.
Yeah, but now they have to contend with the Sniper denying sightlines. Mopsy has to be very cautious here. Not only that, but if Allen Gaming wanted to, they had an opportunity for a back cap. And they still kind of do, but it looks like now their soldier really wants to take that. Bumbo trying to go in for a force, but not much is going to come with it. As now they're going to be trying to take mid. Dylan sitting on top of blue crate has a crazy angle onto choke. We do see Nimby trying to jump through, trying to get denial on that Sniper, but not much is happening. As the Uber comes in through IT, they're going to catch so many people in choke if they can clean up the damage. They managed to land onto both. Good job cleaning up from Tony.
Hunter is hurt. Hunter's movement in these Ubers is clean.
Tony hitting every
but Tony
bow.
gets caught for it. Only takes 1 rocket.
Yeah, Pellet will be able to hit the second one. However, we do see that Allen Gaming is down 3. Now it's going to be a collapse coming in. Tony is so hurt. He's only on a sliver of HP, but he barely makes it out. They're not going to be able to find that pick. They do find Bumbo instead, but that's just not what they wanted. Tony, now sitting at full Uber, is going to be trying to make his way into lobby to clean up that soldier. They managed to do just that, and now HRTeam is electing to back up. They end up popping through as Allen Gaming gets taken with it, but a pipe denies the momentum.
He's out of there. All right. Allen Gaming's not feeling too bad. Of course, they would have liked to wipe him there, but they're just looking for a leapfrog
right now. They're all fighting in sewer.
This is really sketchy.
Down.
Hunter's gonna go down. No,
yeah.
They're missing a soldier too. This should be free. This should be completely safe.
No, they just have to cap and they can take the super to last, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Tony only sitting at 40%. We're going to have to see how exactly HRTeam wants to position the super. They're going in through 2. They pop and take a soldier scout, interestingly enough, and it looks like they may start getting cap time. And Soldier's really low on point. Pyro just now trying to get some damage out. He's getting blasted away, and that should be the cap. Oh, and that's the first round on the board for HRTeam.
Yeah, that aggression onto mid there was just too much, especially with the Uber disadvantage, and losing their demo there was a... Hunter's been so good at staying alive most of this match, but that one, like, that's why you gotta live as a demo. One mistake, and that's the round.
Very true, very true.
Oh, as we see, Romer's exchange damage
Cray
here.
is on top of the crates right now.
Cray! Alright, he's falling down, but I mean, just his mere presence is giving his team a lot of space, and Allen Gaming's rotation
There's so much
slow.
damage on the side of Allen Gaming. Tony only at 40 HP. One rocket will clean him up right now. However, they elect to clean the other players up. Really smart focus fire from them. Bumbo coming in trying to salvage. He gets a lot of damage on the mobs, but just can't get the last rocket off. Great mid from HRTeam.
Yeah, I'm not sure if seeing Cray on high ground just put the fear of God in them, but they slowed so down on the right side rotation, and then Nimby just collapsed, and it was a wrap. Huge damage from Nimby in the corner. It's textbook. And full ad coming into last. They do get forced earlier than they would have wanted to, saving Pell. And honestly,
There's 2 picks, however. There's 3 picks, actually.
There's 3 picks.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
going to be a
that
matter
third
of
pick-
playing cap time or focusing the heavy, and it looks like they elect to focus the heavy. Getting a good bit of damage on him pretty quickly. Now it's just up to Tony and the Dimbo to save this round. Tony going down, ends up cratering from Pelt's damage, and that's a round, making the scoreline 2-2 for HRTeam and Allen Gaming.
Alright, that's a roll from mid, and that is like, no matter who you think the favorite in this match is, a clean win at mid could always just be the round, a full ad for last, so really, after that
Absolutely.
last mid, Allen Gaming might want to, you know, try something else, because they really, yeah, Hunter's going a little left this time, but he's forced right side by the roamer, so no, they're back into the same rotation.
Yeah, and interestingly, Nimby also gets out there. He doesn't even lose his life for it.
And here
However,
comes
we do
Pelt
see
and Nimby. They know what to do. They get Tony and a ton of other damage on the rest of AG, but HRTeam is losing a lot of ground for that bomb, and yeah, they need to re-heal.
the players that are chasing Mopsy right now are so hurt, however. The Scout's only at a few sliver of HP. He's trying so desperately to find Mopsy, but being at 2 HP, he's not going to be able to find much. Urim and Mordisca, however, are alive, so maybe we're going to see them go for something interesting. Right now, they're just getting cap time to force HRTeam to come back into mid. However, it's going to make their positioning very known. As we do see Mordisca coming in, he's just jumping straight towards Choke.
Just a direct bomb.
Yeah, Scout.
Not gonna work.
Not against the Scout class.
And yeah, I think Crate didn't want to give it that point with that aggressive bomb, but not much is going to happen out of it. They know they have ad here, and if anything, I think they might use in and try and catch them. Because I know if they take it slow, they run a big risk of letting Ubers equal here, so curious to see what they do. It's looking like a milk so far, though. And with Allen Gaming knowing that they really want to even Ubers, they do give it up totally for free, and I guess both teams are going to be kind of happy letting things even out, but is HRTeam really, they're trying to force in with tiny ad, and it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, they do actually find Europe, however, this post-fight's going to be rough with just how much longer Tony's Uber is going to be. You see a lot of players hiding into lobby as well as behind the Uber, but unfortunately they are going to lose too. We see Crate actually on page, right? Gets a lot of
Every
cat
weapon
guys.
in the game is in that man's back pocket. It's not going to, honestly, I mean, good funny play, but it's going to let Allen Gaming push into second here very freely.
Yeah, we see a high coming in from Pelt. He lands on Hunter. Hunter only at 17 HP.
Yeah, what was going on in
Pelt
Allen
lives.
Gaming? What was going on in their comms? They just kind of walked in one at a time on different sides of the point. That was incredibly uncoordinated.
I don't think they expect our team to want to refight that, and now it's a 2v6 really. Tony not gonna be able to do much as the cap goes off.
And that's I was so sure Allen Gaming was going to take this half, but HRTeam takes it back. And like that too, what a brutal way to lose the half. I think, yeah, you're right. I think they thought it was totally free. They probably weren't even thinking about it, and then they just died. I have a lot of things spinning in my head right now. Give me some direction here.
So, you know, at the beginning of this match, I said excellent Cray, beast players, right? I wanna add someone else, Nimby.
Yeah.
Nimby, oh my, Nimby has been this soldier for this team. He's been getting behind.
I think I could hear you gesture with your hand there. That's clean.
What do you mean?
That pause, that... Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know me too much. Too well, I guess. Nimby's just been the soldier that's just been getting behind, getting the picks, and his bombs are just amazingly well-timed. Good shit on Nimby. But one thing I just don't want to see anymore are these crazy wacky Pelt solo overs, you know, last. I think you know, it's 2020. Soldier, it's a bit of an obsolete class. It doesn't matter anymore, you know. It's all about demo man. It's all about scout. Soldier. It's your side guy, I guess. But anyway, what's your opinion? What's your opinion, Works?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I will say, like, you know, if there's any match you wanted to look at and say, hey, it's working, it's this one, because it's technically worked both times. But I say technically because I think they've worked because of extraneous factors. Like Mopsy got out because of a scout, and then they got last off that Uber because AG kind of dropped the ball. So I'm gonna say, like, I hope they stop doing it, but I know they won't. It's kind of part of their team identity at this point, I think.
I do have to agree with you. It's been like a couple of blue moons of where those overs, you know, actually work. I hope they realize that, you know, it's not gonna work anymore. let's just go back to 2020. Let's Uber Cray or excellent.
I mean, you know, I'll always respect a man who's he's trying to play the game his own way, even if it's you know, the cost of everybody else who's playing the game his own way.
I mean, at least he's having fun, you know. I'm gonna give him that.
But,
he's not that bad.
No, he's not. Like, I'm railing on Pell here, but like, there's only like a couple of those Ubers, and they literally weren't even that bad. And he's been doing great. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like bait is well, spoiler. I think Pelt is bait. I think like he just does these sluggish high bombs that scream like shoot me, and it's so distracting. Like Nimby's going around, the scouts are going around, crazy spamming pipes, and then you just have Pelt just front and center, just screaming to get shot at.
I do agree with that. I see Nimby Bowman. He's making some U-turns, you know, some crazy stress, and Pelt's just doing the classic monster jumping. It's just.
I think
funny.
it's like he has a spot on his team. He has a job as well. Where I think Nimby, you know, we say he's playing distract style roamer, but Pelt's the real distraction here. Nimby is just the fly that won't go away.
Yeah, Pelt's just the legend.
I mean, I haven't even. Maybe once again, I'm just so caught up in the soldiers. I will say Hunter in the first couple rounds was doing so well, and he still is doing really well. They lost one round off of him overextending, but I think he's been playing just so good. And I think Cray is playing a little goofy, and his goofiness is not paying off. Definitely give the edge. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him. And in gaming scouts too, playing their aggression really smart and getting rewarded. If I'm going to be honest, I think Allen Gaming has been outplaying HRTeam, but they have just been making these crucial round-ending mistakes that have just mid to last, losing demo on second. You know, it's they're winning all these small advantages, but they're just losing to these big drops.
I do think that when HRTeam is making mistakes, they seem to manage to like generally stabilize a little bit better. We have seen a few chain feats, but in general they can stabilize a little bit quicker. Whereas Allen Gaming, when they've made mistakes, it has resulted in them giving up multiple points.
So yeah, we're going into the next half. HRTeam leads 3-2, but I expect this to be close. Also, I will say, going into this mid, Allen Gaming has to think of something else, because these right side mids have been solved. HRTeam knows how to deal with them. They need to think of a different plan. Alright, as we go into the mid here, we see they're playing pretty heavy across the point this time, but they're still leaning so hard, right? But they're just sitting in choke, and oh my goodness, HRTeam just 6-man across the point in perfect sync. They lost Mopsy for it, they lost Cray for it. This is just turning into a complete scrap, and it looks like... Oh!
Magma with a huge wrap through choke. He's actually able to clean up Tony, and that's probably going to be all she wrote. Unless Nimby and Exile are able to do something miraculous as they try and clean up on the mid. Exile being met with a rocket as he comes through IT, and Nimby getting cleaned up, that's going to be it. Really good trade-off on Tony, though, from Magma. He had a pretty big wrap through sewer. Tony was playing the smart positioning, just sitting in his own choke after he went down to 50 HP. However, I don't think anyone spotted his own sewer, so he was kind of caught off guard by the player coming through.
Yeah, and if my intonation didn't give it away, I really thought HRTeam was favored to win that mid, since AG just sat in their own choke and let them get collapsed on, but Mopsy overextended and died, and
yeah, she wasn't really ready for that soldier bomb and ends up getting caught out by it, but that's okay. You do see both meds going down, and now Mopsy is sitting at a bit of Uber at 20%. However, Tony building really well. That should end up evening out. We're gonna have to see if HRTeam wants to take it, as they're actually positioning a lower IT.
I think they do.
This is so big. This is so huge, and they're not spotted yet. It looks like no, they aren't spotted. They're so late.
There,
but they are gonna use
their stuff.
They're so late on using.
It's bad. It's awful.
Well, this isn't a good Uber.
Committed. They pick up Bumbo, and that's gonna help them get out a lot. But that was at the expense of Tony literally not using Uber. That was poorly timed, and Rugby's stuffing Pelt there, like, basically made that Uber have, like, 0% chance of doing anything.
Yeah,
Said Europe goes down in IT, and, oh, but they clean up Exile, so, no, they trade out the pick, and they get second without having to use. And And yeah, they have their choice to push off of the exile pick or wait for Yerb to spawn, but either way, there's pretty much no chance that this ad goes away.
Yeah, I don't know. That was like, did they just not have when they finally started peaking, or what was that? Because they were just so slow. Either way, we see Allen Gaming milking greatly through one as they're getting wrapped by a soldier. However, Tony's gonna have to flash to save his demo man. They have not found a pick yet. They managed to find Row Pieces, who came in through one late and was met by the scout of Nigma.
And helped with a clean direct onto Dylan's gonna save his own life, and with that, I think Allen Gaming has no leg to stand on, but they are committing forward anyways.
Yeah, they're trying to help Morska. They get a bit of cap time as well, but unfortunately the scouts are just not missing right now. Nigma and Exile hitting every shot they need to hit.
Exile always takes this fight.
Oh, he's
and that time
dead.
he gets pretty hard punished by.
Oh no, that was.
I'm seeing. Are they gonna get hard punished? They're gonna get all their forwards here. They're still
we
gonna
might see Mopsy forces.
They're gonna take this ad, but he dropped.
Yeah, she got so far forward. She made that bomb so easy for Row Pieces and didn't have a scout because Nigma had to stay on cap there. Either way, Tony does go down. Cray trying to secure the medic frag, but just isn't able to. Exile now sitting on Sniper. However, we're gonna see another player going down on HRTeam. It's really only Exile and Magma right now. Exile sitting in lobby, seeing if he can secure a pick. The entirety of Allen Gaming begins to come through into lobby. We do see Hunter going down before the Uber gets popped out, however.
And the gun's still up.
And Tony drops to Exile, standing in the sniper sight like, this Uber just went up, this push just got...
This is just tragedy after tragedy. Yeah, and that's plenty of room to let HRTeam push out on. They don't need Uber. They know Allen Gaming has no heals and no traps.
Yeah, and it looks like Allen Gaming is just going to give up the room. We don't even see a lot of soldier spam coming through. 6 on choke, but that's going to be pretty much it as the cap begins to come off. Mopsy's going to be sitting comfortably about 50% ad. It's kind of dwindling down to 40, but we're going to have to see how HRTeam wants to take it as they begin to move towards sewer. Looks like they're just going to try and get space through there. No stickies, but a soldier above. Gonna get one rocket onto Mopsy, but not a lot of damage. As he finally gets cleaned up, just not hitting the shots he may have liked. Mopsy's gonna live another day as she now comes in on her Uber. Allen Gaming down the soldier. We still have an opportunity to see how HRTeam wants to take this as they begin to make their way through IT.
It's looking like a demo bomb. Oh,
but they don't pop.
Don't use.
Yeah, I thought they were.
Of a fake out,
but they
use now,
and
they drop crazy. Oh, this is really bad timing. I think.
I think the comms got so cluttered there. The comms had to be so cluttered. I'm sure Cray called for the Uber there, but Mopsy didn't think she had to use. The Uber does come in, and it looks like Mopsy's very overextended now. The Hunter missing every single shot right now. Oh, it looks like they're going to be able to clean up Tony, but Mopsy hasn't died yet. Mopsy is still fighting Hunter.
Please, thank you.
Mopsy lives, and he gets
oh my goodness. No, you don't need. Oh, hell.
Oh no, there was so much happening there. What?
Health was goofing around on last. He was sledding. He was taking it all in, but a back cap 4-2. HRTeam is poised.
Yeah, right now HRTeam can win the whole map. It's insane. You do see them coming in through choke right now. One soldier taking a lot of damage. Nimby just trying to escape with his life, and that he does. We see the scouts getting a bit of damage as Cray finds the pick onto Europe. Cray just jumping around.
Tony's down. Hunter's lit. A great shot from Row Pieces, and Hunter's behind, but this should just be just more and more cleanup from HRTeam.
We do see a player behind. Bumbo coming in through IT, but he's caught out by the scouts. I don't think he's going to be able to get much. As the other players get... Actually, Exile loses the 1v1 to Dylan. Dylan coming in through IT, just juking around right now. It looks like he's just going to get out of IT with his life. However, we do see a soldier coming in fast now. I thought Nimby was trying to wrap Exile fast with a fast bomb through choke, but...
That would have been pretty fun, but I'm sure he thought he was fully, so...
Yeah, no, I'm not, I would say I think Exile would have called his health, so he should have known he was decently low, but... I think he played the safe game there, and that's respectable.
So, HRTeam full ad, pushing into last. Round point, game point, this could be it, and it looks like they're telegraphing one a little hard. The gun is right side, a little, that looks like it's a setup to deny a double bomb through threes, but it's been spotted and it's getting spammed. HRTeam is opting to maybe try and get the, they don't get the gun.
If they don't get the gun, Pelk goes down as well. This is looking really rough as Tony has Uber.
They're leaving, they're gone.
Oh my gosh, Nimby tried to get onto Tony, but his rockets got eaten by the map geometry. This is so sad. He had a pretty good opportunity, but unfortunately Tony juked behind a pillar. Good moves from Tony. As now we're seeing Allen Gaming coming in, but Hunter dies to a trap from Cray.
Gets the trap on Hunter on one, and between, row pieces being down, Hunter being down, they're going to wait for spawners. They also have the fear of getting bad capped in them, as it just happened, and this one ends the game, so Allen Gaming feels so uncomfortable pushing out here, but every second they delay is a second HRTeam gets closer to add. That said, they're holding forward now.
They end up popping through. Yeah,
Cray
we see the Uber coming in, but are they gonna get it? No, they only find Pelt. Cray just barely getting out with the tank from Mopsy, and now Mopsy's sitting at really large Zuberat. The downside of Allen Gaming waiting so long to get in there was that Mopsy's Zuberat just got bigger and bigger by the second. And now they're sitting at Uber right as Tony's only at 30%. If the HRTeam can take this point without having to use Uber, this could be detrimental for Allen Gaming as they begin to make their way through.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're milking through choke, they're taking space. Here comes the bomb for the force, but it goes on to Cray and he gets Cray. That's a good pick. And
that's a really good pick, especially because Mopsy was in no position to get jumped on. They end up going forward and they use their Uber, trying to see if they can catch anything out, but there's not much to be caught out. I say that as Europe walks right out of upper lobby and gets meat shot by Exile.
But that getting Europe there is not nearly as significant as getting Cray was for Allen Gaming.
Absolutely.
They know if they go right now, there's no trap setup. They don't even necessarily have to use in. Or if they just spot the beam, there's a lot of players catchable here. Allen Gaming should feel comfortable pushing out here, but that fear of getting backcapped, I know they are worried. They end up getting forced going upper IT again. This time, Pelt trying to wrap through two, but he's not going to get it twice. And they're going to get second for it. A little damage and choke, but not too much. Not as great a Uber as they were hoping for, I'm sure. As HRTeam's actually trying to dry fight this.
That's a little greedy from them, losing Nigma and Cray. Is now Mopsy and Exile are trying to escape sewer. They're gonna get pinched just slightly by Dylan, but not gonna be able to find anything.
An arrow from Mopsy almost ended Dylan's life a little early there.
Both medics have been really solid. Both medics have saved their teammates multiple times just on arrows alone. Either way, without Cray and Magma here, this may be a bit rough to take without using. They do jump Pelton through, seeing if he can see anything, and he's just spotting. Elects not to do much. As the Uber starts to make its way through Al-Qaeda. No Uber pops yet as roar pieces bombs on the Mopsy. She forces, but I'm not too sure why.
This is not looking good for HRTeam. Mopsy does force to the bomb while Pelt bed early, and it looks like Allen Gaming is not going to be able to stop the cap, but they go for it.
They do try.
Hunter's in the air. Nimby's upper IT going behind.
It looks like they're sending someone back to deal with it. Morska, but he's at a huge health disadvantage right now.
Oh, Nimby,
Nimby has every
he wins it, but Europe's here.
Two people with spawners. Oh, Nimby, that was a very smart play, drawing a few people back to left. You see Pelt bombing in, he hits the sheet metal and he gets out.
He gets piped, he's okay, a good arrow from Mopsy's
so many arrows.
Get him out clean.
Oh my gosh.
And Hunter, again, just getting tossed.
I will say, Rupees had a good bomb on Mopsy there while she was bowing Nimby, or rather Pelt, sorry. But he wasn't able to get the rockets that he would have liked too often. Mopsy was able to surf away. By the way, we are actually seeing it just now begin to even out, so I don't think we're going to be seeing too much more leapfrogging happening.
I know, HRTeam set up in sewer. It might be a little Al-Qaeda pressure coming in here. As a pre-high bomb from Humbo on choke. It's going to see nobody. That should be enough to say, yeah, that's sewer.
No, it looks like they're just trying to get damage onto Tony to soften him up for their roamer.
They use the Uber miscount is gonna be a big punish here.
Yeah, especially because they had Nimby bombing from behind. I think he was trying to pinch, that way his Uber could be as successful as possible, but if the other players are shiny, there's not too much you can do about that.
And they didn't get as many picks as they would like, but there goes Pelt in the flank, and since they got Exile with the Uber, and you're setting up a position in their flank, he dies early, but that was enough of a distraction to maybe catch Nimby here. No, Nimby gets out, but good distraction from Europe. He's going to get his team in pretty free, and yeah, they're going to take the point for it, so a little bit of an Uber miscount from HRTeam. I'm sure they're probably feeling maybe, they have 2 rounds up on Allen Gaming, and maybe that's why they're willing to take these risks. But they are going to lose a point for it. They just need to hope that they don't keep making mistakes. Maybe they'll kind of pull it together here.
Well, Rex, all I'm going to tell you is if either of these medics had been running head, they would have known Ubers were even there.
Yeah, you're right. This is kind of 2019 gameplay.
Anyway, we see the red soldiers coming in to pressure IT.
Jumps in and kills your absolute brute force. But dropping 2 players defending second, that's pretty tempting for a push here. This is Dylan starts peek and choke. They're spotting traps and they're taking space. No soldiers up to bomb Tony yet. And
yeah, the Uber comes in pretty early. Yeah, Mopsy popping early to get her scout and keep him alive. However, we're gonna see Cray getting just absolutely destroyed by Dylan, hitting some clean meat shots.
I think that was a meat shot synced with Cray piping himself on the Uber scout.
Yeah, I think so as well. He went flying so far back. There was no way Mopsy could have saved him.
And the HR team soldiers straight back to spawn right after coming up. Oh, but a quick snipe from, was that Cray?
That's Cray on there!
Was that Cray with a quick snipe to hold the
sniper
round?
got a quick cleanup, and Row Pieces is probably gonna kill Mopsy. He isn't cleaned up in time. That's gonna be a med pick.
That's a great bomb from Row Pieces. That's gonna, Allen Gaming is more than happy to say, alright, let's play a Ruberad here. Cray, goofiest player I've ever seen. Demo comes up sniper to get a pick, but
hey, if it works.
If it works. But yeah, Row Pieces gave them the Uber advantage here. The question is, how did they take it? Their 1 Ubers have stopped working, so they're looking to take a lobby.
I just want to throw out something interesting. Row Pieces is on Spy right now. Well, this team is on full Uber ad.
Now they go for the post-Uber Spy play. Alright.
Interesting.
Gun takes a long time to go down, but that's so much cap time. Nimby does stop it right in time, and now there's
so much cap time. There's no way that they're gonna let a Spy back cap him here, just because there's too much cap time. I feel like they're gonna want to play safe here, especially if they know that.
Yeah. There's been a player missing for a little too long here.
Yeah, that heavy Exile looks like he's ready for Spy to come in. He's turning around, checking his back. Row Pieces, all he can do right now is see if he can get that med pick.
He's canceled the last. He's looking for a forward pick.
He's going IT right now. Doesn't look like he's gonna find much as he gets. He cloaks in front of Nimby. It's unfortunate. However, Mopsy's on crits. Keep that in mind. This is the threat of an Uber coming through right now. It's a threat of a crit. And I'm kind of curious to see how Allen Gaming is going to respond to this.
Yeah, it's looking like, I don't think they've spotted the crits yet. And here comes Cray with the sticky in front of Shutter. Oh, he misses it, but he gets Hunter with the second one. And actually, no, he actually picked up Dylan with the first one. I didn't see that. So he just missed Tony, but with those 2 picks, that's a dry fight into last, especially the demo pick. They're already in. This is looking good.
They just have to clean up players.
Row Pieces, but Exile's on point with the buff. And that's going to be the round at last.
That's the map.
That is the map. We are going to a 3rd map.
Walter, I have to ask. With how much cap time was on point there when Row Pieces was on Spy, do you think that was a bit of a misplay?
He was never gonna get that cap. And oh, you mean like coming up Spy?
Yeah, coming up Spy. Do you think if he had been on Soldier there,
a little goofy?
With how much cap time there was, if they had had a little bit more damage on point, a little bit more knockback, I'd like to think that they could have been able to secure that last point.
Maybe. I will say that after their cap scout died, the players that were blocking point were pristine health. I think the biggest issue with that Uber is Hunter took a few too many shots to get the gun down. Kind of delayed everything. But yeah, you just see HRTeam coming out on top, and it doesn't feel dominant at all. It just feels like mistake after mistake from Allen Gaming, and they are getting hard punished. That's good on HRTeam for finding these punishes. You know, they're not giving them a leg to stand on and come back. But you've got to be hurting if you're Allen Gaming right now. What do you think?
So I want to bring this back to that Hunter play when he couldn't kill the man, right? I think right now what's happening is Allen Gaming is kind of tilting out. They're like, oh, we're beefing these pushes. It's playoffs. We cannot do that. And it's like just like snowballing, causing all these mistakes, like small mistakes, but they're like piling up. And that's what are causing them to lose at the moment, because okay, this stat's kind of sad. Hunter got 2 kills
oh no.
And he's bottom DPMing as well. That's
strange.
That's just, you don't want to see that on your demo, man. That's
unusual. I think a lot of that was the mids. Allen Gaming never did fix their mid problem. And a lot of that is because Hunter would get pressured early, and then he would just get pinned into the corner, and he would never get rehealed because his team was taking too much pressure.
I have to correct you. Hunter did get 3 kills, but he's not
Oh my
alone
God.
and with a KD deficit right now. Morsu only got 2 kills and Pelt only got 4. So we see a handful of players actually were just kind of getting locked down that game, and it looks like it just so happened 2 of them were on Allen Gaming, the rest having decently normal stat lines. But Exile putting in work for his team. He's top fragging and top damaging for that half, and then looking at the overall stats, we see Dylan actually being the one. He has nearly 40 kills with 300 DPM, only player on the server to break that 300 stat line. Exile, however, is not too far behind, sitting at 283 DPM with 32 kills. Both combo scouts are putting in a ton of work for their team, which is exactly what you want to see out of your scouts on process.
Yeah, it's the stats, they're nice. I'm hoping they don't eat Hunter alive for that round, because Hunter was doing exceptional in the first half. And, the last thing they need to do is demoralize their own players.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will say, the stats are what they are, but the real big thing that half was Allen Gaming never figured out a new mid for process. They had that one right side rotation, and as soon as Nimby started committing on the high bomb, it was over. And their last pushes, their one Ubers were so clean, but if I'm going to be honest, I don't think HRTeam even really started entering their one Ubers. It's just that Allen Gaming messed up Uber through Shutter once, and I think it was a little bit of beef on it. And as a result, they just stopped taking an Uber through that door. And I think they didn't realize that he just messed up, and it's still a good door to push. And they started going lobby instead, and every single one of their lobby pushes got shut down fast. So yeah, I think they can get it together. But if HRTeam has anything going for them right now, it is momentum. Their mental game, they're probably hyped up. They're probably good to go.
Absolutely.
And I do have a funny stat.
Yeah?
Which is HRTeam played 13 matches in the regular season, and 6 of them were on Gully Wash.
Oh, and they took the final map to Gully Wash, huh?
Yep, HRTeam has played a lot of Gully Wash. Their score is mixed, but if there's any map that they can pull it together on, I'm assuming it's this one. I think they've probably seen every play in the book at this point in the season after playing it that many times. But yeah, they've got the map knowledge, they've got the momentum. I'm excited. I never got to say this when when the match started, but I thought Allen Gaming were the heavy favorites. And they took the first map, but I thought the first map was going to be a 4-0 because Allen Gaming, they played clear cut twice in the regular season. Both of them were 4-0s. And HRTeam didn't play clear cut once the regular season. So the fact that they got rounds at all surprised me.
I was gonna say that I would kind of disagree with you there. I think the swap specifically is about the scouts, right? I think one reason that HRT may have previously not been as favored against Allen Gaming would come down to the scouts. Because Mopsy and Nigma, who are really solid players in their own right, just don't quite compete with players like Yerb and Dylan. Both players. I know Dylan
is looking like an exile. Looking like an exile
Yeah,
factor.
Exile coming in is doing a lot of work for HRTeam. He's getting a lot of damage, a lot of pressure, and kind of being this uniting factor for the combo. I think being able to play around Cray well and having Mopsy follow through with the heals is working really well for them. I think that getting Exile as such has been a really strong play, for them overall.
Yeah, no, it is a strong roster mix-up, but I do want to say, Exile hasn't been doing anything, at least in my view, outstanding. I think he's just been playing well and solid, and he's been doing his job. He's made his first play of mistakes. He's fed a couple times, but it is important just to have a strong, consistent pocket scout, and I guess that's that kind of comes back to what we were saying about these punishes, right? Allen Gaming makes these small mistakes, and you could say it's off the back of a strong core like Exile and Cray that they're able to push these multiple points last to last. So yeah, I mean, if you really want to make the distinction between regular season and playoffs, Exile does seem to be the core there. And like we've said multiple times, Mopsy's doing a great job, but so is Tony. But Mopsy is doing a great job. The HR team core does seem really strong.
Yeah, I will say, while I think Mopsy is very mechanically gifted, she comes from playing Scout, and I think Scout players in general just have very good mechanics, especially on Medic. Something I think Tony has the leg up on her on is general Medic game sense and awareness. We've seen Mopsy make a couple crucial mistakes in dropping players, whereas Tony has consistently been able to keep his players up with his Uber and reposition himself on the 5CP map at least to keep himself alive. I think he does have a couple more deaths than Mopsy, but considering his team was down 3 rounds, the fact that he only died, I believe, what was it? I think 2 more times? It looks like 4 more times. It's still like an impressive stat line, all things considered.
Yeah, it's scary because I say it's scary because I know Hunter and I'm rooting for him. You know, that's my internal bias.
I mean,
I wanted him to win, but
we
in my
have,
head,
what we have to do, we do have to remember, walrex, we did play with 3 of the people in Allen Gaming last season with Tony, Morska,
no,
and
I know
Dylan.
they're great. They're great players, but in my head, I think with the play, if the momentum they come out of process with winning and their experience on Gully Wash, I really do think HR team is favored to win the set at this point. I really felt if it came down to a third map, HR team would have the leg up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's looking scary for Allen Gaming, especially they were higher seeded going into playoffs. To go out like this might leave a bad taste in their mouths.
I will say, something to keep in mind is the differences between process and gully wash. Process, when you make mistakes, it is easier to stabilize off of them. And right now, HR team has been able to stabilize off of really crucial mistakes. But at the same time, because they're now playing gully wash, it's so much harder to stabilize. So I'm curious to see how the mistakes from HR team are now going to be punished on this new map, where mistakes in general can just be punished far harder, and you can take like a lot of room off of very small mistakes that are being made by both teams.
Yeah, it's I think, you know, and I hate to say it, but I think a lot of it is going to come down to these mid fights. I feel like there's going to be a fair number of mid to last, and if there aren't, it's because teams are scared and they're getting out of mid early. You know, the biggest trouble Allen Gaming had last map is they just couldn't get a foot on the ground on mid. They just couldn't do anything. And if they want to come out on top on Gully Wash, they need to have a Gully Wash mid that can shut down Nimby and Pelt. The Pelt distraction, the Nimby flank, they need to make sure those soldiers do not get work done. And they've been putting in work on every map and every round so far, so that's a tall order. Vice versa, if Bumbo and Row Pieces, they can pump out their own pressure, get their own picks, and do their own damage, and counteract it, it'll work. I will say, maybe the biggest, you know, as the map goes live, the biggest difference between these mids is that there's no room to rotate on Gully Wash. If rotating was Allen Gaming's weakness, then they have it covered. But as we say that, teams roll out to mid. We see immediately both demos roll out their sides, trap the other doors, and it's looking like a mirror with Magma getting a little early pressure up on Allen Gaming, but oh, and a quick bomb from Nimby, a fade back too. A lot of pressure and no risk to himself, while Bumbo is baiting in his own big door. The space is favoring HR team right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to start walking forward, actually taking that space finally, as we see soldiers both bombing forward. We do see Dylan and Row Pieces are able to collapse onto Mopsy and find the pick. However, at the same time, Pelt manages to find Tony. And now it's a 4v3. The health on both sides is pretty bad, as Cray and Hunter are exchanged. No more demos, now 2 soldiers and a scout versus a soldier and a scout. As the cap does come off for HR team with the soldier and scout on blue leaving.
Oh
no.
Kills Bumbo. That was probably not a good bid from Bumbo. He sat in big door the entire mid, and then he commits in the post and gets a shot. Sad. But yeah, I'm sure Allen Gaming's plan there was they had a good wrap onto Mopsy, get the medic and get your own medic out alive, but HR team was on them, and they did cut off Tony before he could live, so...
Yeah, I think Mopsy may have expected a little bit more point pressure than there actually was, because she kited right towards Nipple and was caught out pretty quickly by Dylan there, who was just kind of waiting for her. We do see now a sniper sitting in water. Dylan waiting to see if he can find anything. He is just going to leave though, misses the shot onto Pelt. Pelt trying to catch him out here with a couple quick jumps, but Dylan's just going to barely be able to make it out, and he gets wrapped by row pieces. Row pieces securing the frag, almost losing his own life in the process. However, that's going to be a pretty good exchange for even Ubers, as now we're going to have to see how Allen Gaming elects to try and counter-sack with Pelt currently staying good.
Yeah, it's I will say, it is even Ubers, so I won't dock them too hard, but and they get a pocket scout pick. So yeah, that's definitely some motivation to deep peek their Sniper River, but surprised no engineer from Allen Gaming. They are not trying to stalemate here. They want to get out of last. Row Pieces is really trying to weasel his way into a flank some way somehow, but HRTeam has everything locked down. Baby Door locked down, River locked down.
We finally see a counter sniper. I do want to throw that out there. Exile coming up sniper himself. He just has Dylan to contend with. Dylan looking like he's trying to rotate to see where he can find a sightline, and it looks like he's trying to get that sightline on the Cray. He isn't going to find much as Nimby actually manages to take down Exile with some rocket spam from balcony, I think that was?
Yeah,
no, it looks like it was mixed.
Dylan, so
yeah.
Now Exile is alive, unchecked. So we're going to see some hero shots coming out pretty soon.
He
just goes down.
Yeah, no, I think he peeked in through balcony and went down pretty quickly. But that's kind of what happens when you take a hero shot. Sometimes it just he dies so fast you can't really get it off as fast as you'd like.
Anyway, Dylan back on sniper.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty classic. He's taking to the deep angle in River. They haven't spotted him quite yet, but the dot has been shown on the wall, so I expect that they know. I would like to see a fast bomb. Ooh, lock and load pipes coming into River. As the soldier skip jumps through, Nimby trying to make some space, manages to get out pretty quickly though, not taking too much damage.
And Bumbo finally managed to get behind in a good off-timing sack, but he doesn't get the force. And the timing going before while the teams are even numbers is strong, but it carries with it the risk that now HRTeam is very comfortable to two-man here.
Exile is currently sitting. He's running in, I think.
Yeah,
that was Magma that ran in. We see triple sacking. Oh my gosh, they get the drop onto Tony! Tony was just not respecting Exile. I think he thought once Exile dropped to the low ground, he'd get cleaned up there. But he didn't. Tony's sitting at 1 HP, he was able to chip shot.
That was so close. Yeah, and I mean, it's basically, as I said, Bumble had good timing on his sag, but dying early, putting his team 5v6, invited the three-man.
Oh, and Europe gets behind, he gets a few shots onto Mopsy, but isn't able to finish her off. As now we see 2 players down, European is late death especially. That's going to make this push for HRTeam very easy. They do have the Pyro to contend with, however, so we're going to have to see how they want to take the Super, and I expect to see a scout come in to deal with the Pyro.
Yeah, and they didn't telegraph Locker, and with the Pyro set up River, this is going to be a useless Pyro. This is looking great for HRTeam right now.
Yeah, he's going to try and stuff the soldier, I think, Nimby,
but... Magma, but... And they do have the fully buffed heavy right spawn.
Yeah.
This is actually, wow, they're actually looking to hold this pretty strongly. HRTeam never got any cap pressure. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't think they got the picks that they needed quick enough. They immediately diverted their attention to the Pyro, who wasn't really doing much, but I think they wanted to kill him with the Uber. Either way, Tony now having his Uber again, he's gonna make it through. As we see a back cap coming in with the Spy. I don't think, we're gonna see if HRTeam, they do come to block the point, as the Spy gets on the point, but yeah, Bumbo's throwing back, and he manages to save the point with a quick taunt. The moral game is coming in, the mental game.
And that was they put pretty much all their eggs in that basket. They lose their medic for that. They get the force, but losing your medic for the force isn't worth it. And AG is primed to take mid for free and have ad for second.
Yeah, I will say, like you said, it was kind of ballsy, I think, from HRTeam to commit everything into that Spy back cap when they weren't entirely sure, because they lost their medic in the process. They are sending out huge Uber disad though, which is the good thing. Tony, because he did pop to get that med pick, means that he is only sitting at about 15% Uber.
Yeah, that was honestly a questionable sack from Pelt there, because that gives Allen Gaming some room to kind of dry here. They already have Uber ad, even though I will say this is dwindling way faster than I think they expected. And honestly, they might end up getting punished here, because they must think they have 40 at least.
Yeah,
but this is coming up on 15.
I don't think either team knows just how small the Uber ad actually is. as Mopsy's now coming in on her Uber right now. We just see a huge bomb coming in
huge high bomb gets the early force.
That was the perfect roamer bomb. Oh my gosh. He got in so cleanly, it was so hard to deny him. Mopsy ends up having to pop her own Uber to save her players, but they get 3 picks in total from it. Both scouts and Morster going down. That's going to be a clean mid-take. As they begin to bomb in, we do see Ropieces, I think, trying to jump across point. He's now desperately trying to live.
He's looking caught.
30 health, and he isn't able to find anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was pretty ready to roast Nimby there. I was like, high bombing from River into Gully Wash choke, like really? But he executed it perfectly. He didn't get denied. And yeah, this is really paving the way for his team to take some ground here. I will say, they didn't push the 3-man into second. And so, because they let Allen Gaming get their spawners, things are probably going to slow down pretty hard here. As I say that, yeah, it looks like nothing crazy is happening yet. HRTeam's... Oh! What? Oh my goodness! And Allen Gaming just takes their literal 10% Uber ad through choke and kill Mopsy.
No,
I didn't see that coming. HRTeam didn't see that coming. How did they even know they had ad? Like, I guess they knew they used first.
Yeah, Tony knew he used first, and I don't know if this is becoming like the metagame for this, but Tony in general builds better than Mopsy. Mopsy takes out her bow to bow people a lot and breaks the beam a lot, and as such, Tony just has a much more consistent build rate, meaning that he does typically end up having about like 10% ad. To compound that with the fact that he had about 10% ad from when they used in. It means that they ended up having a good bit of Uber to work with, and work with it they did. It looks like Mopsy now building herself alongside Negma, who's getting a gun up, putting it at the base of the stairs. We're just going to have to see how they want to hold this. Health going down pretty harshly as Mopsy is playing very forward for being at Uber Disad. I wonder what's going to happen as they come in. She manages to kite to spawn, and Urban's going down to a stick trap from Cray. Now they do get the gun, but they're now down 1 as soldiers begin to bomb in, trying to save the point. The scout on point is very hurt, and he gets a lot of cap time, but with a fully buffed heavy standing on point, there's not going to be much a way that he can really clean that up. Soldiers tries to get onto the medic, but not much is going to happen as the medic does go down to the...
Gonna be the wipe. I will say Bumbo is hiding in water, but...
They do have a spy. Yerb is on spy right now.
That probably won't play out. Fingers crossed, but I will say... You gotta keep your demo alive for those post fights in Gully Wash Ubers, and Hunter went down early, so that shut him down. Also, Yerb got spotted, so he's dead. And since he's dead and Bumbo's dead, mid's looking kind of free right now for HRTeam. Yeah, so once again, what a great play from Allen Gaming, but it's not going to pay off. They could not convert last, and they don't check the traps.
Oh
and
no,
died.
That's gotta be so demoralizing as well. They had so much opportunities coming in with that Uber ad. They managed to get the point, but unfortunately with no heals, it's gonna be really rough to hold this. They are getting good spam into Big Door as the entirety of Allen Gaming tries to make it through. However, with Ropies sitting only at 40 HP, it's gonna be hard. Also, lock and load. I want to say, I think Tony would have gotten piped a few times there if Cray was on Iron Bomber. Just want to throw that out there.
I will say, Allen Gaming flank held down choke really hard there because Exile and Pelt were trying to force their way in pretty completely. So Row Pieces and I think it was your locked that down pretty well. And
yeah, Exile sniping from forwards. He goes down to Row Pieces. It's a long range spam rocket, interestingly enough. By the way, Mopsy is only at 50%. I think Exile might be up in time for this last push, depending on how slowly Allen Gaming takes this. By the way, Mopsy coming in on her own Uber very shortly at 70%. Tony's ad is dwindling.
I think AG thinks they have bigger ad than it is once again, and I'm thinking that this push is... Yeah, this is... Are they going to call it off? Nope, it's a blind push. This is... The upside is they should be able to get out alive because they know how bad it is.
That's true, yeah. And Gully Wash, as long as they don't drop to the low ground there, they will have generally a pretty easy time. However, we do see both Soldiers and Yerb going down, and it looks like the entirety of Allen Gaming, all 3 players, Hunter, Dylan, and Tony, are just going to elect to leave. It looks like Hunter's trying to get up a sticky trap somewhere, but it doesn't look like he's going to get... I don't really see where his stickies are. I just see one sticky near upper. Oh, it's on Shutter.
Yep, this is classic, and there goes the debt, there goes second, and... Allen Gaming, they do have the I used first ad and the I build better than you ad. The question is, do they really Are they really courageous enough to take it again? Because they took it before, but that's one of those plays that just kind of never leaves the page, you know?
Honestly, if I was them, I wouldn't have taken it before, but I would take it on this push, just off the merit that here, if you beef the push, you have more room to fall back on. However, Mopsy's aware this time that they do have that use first ad, and she's playing very passive, deep in her own river. They're giving up a lot of space to Allen Gaming right now. In fact, I don't even know if Allen Gaming really knew they had ad or were planning on taking it. It looks like they were just peeking their heels. Dingo with a huge air shot on the pelt!
Oh, he goes to shovel. The scout doesn't get it, and as a result, Exile is going to live and stay pretty healthy, but Europe is rolling in, and he cleans him up, but trades out. So, even numbers still for both teams, but I will say that with Allen Gaming being in control of mid, and this is not a good time for Simbi to go in, and he goes down. This is actually really bad because they know choke is free right now.
Yeah, they should at least, and it looks like a soldier just bombed through. He tries to get on to Magma, but Magma just gonna easily dodge those rockets without a lot of pressure coming in from the rest of the team. The Uber does come in from Mopsy, a good force coming out from Dylan. As the later Uber comes in from Tony, we're gonna have to see how HRTeam elects to reposition it. Tony's flashing a lot of his players as the collapse comes in on choke from HRTeam.
And yeah, Allen Gaming has died, looks like in Big Door, and yeah, that was a really good early force onto Mopsy, but Pelt kind of counterbomb choke, and Allen Gaming had just too many people to flash in that Uber, plus they were down a soldier.
I don't think Allen Gaming really took positioning at all with that Uber. They were just kind of backing up towards choke without really committing into it, meaning that they were really easily slammed down in the post. Either way, we do see HRTeam beginning to walk into second. They're clearing spots, making sure there's no soldiers that can get onto their medics, as Mopsy makes her way through Big Door. Sitting at 50% Uber up, we're going to have to see how they take it in the last. Currently, Allen Gaming is sending up with a gun in the European spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like this gun at this ad. To me, it's more of a deny spot.
I can agree, especially because I think this gun can get spammed down relatively easy, and if you're willing to tank your heals forward because of that Uber ad, even if not, it's still pretty easy for the demo to meet it through river. Yeah, see?
It's over.
However, the Pyro is there to deny
space. Doing a lot of work, and the Uber's over. They're actually decommitting.
They had two Pyros, actually.
Yeah, Europe just came up on Pyro now, just as Dylan died. Europe, he gets tossed into river.
But he can reflect. He can reflect things and keep himself safe. Exile ends up going down. I think he was trying to chase the Pyro.
Nimby's in? Oh my god, the Pyro.
Oh my gosh,
infuriating. Nimby had such a clean bomb onto Tony and just gets air blasted away.
Your heart has to break for Nimby, man. Not only does he have scouts to contend with, but now a Pyro. Pelt's sitting right next to Shutter, ready to deny some space, as he's looking like he's trying to get ready to jump up, doing a little bomb. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not...
It's interesting.
Yeah, there's a bomb. I will say his death is not super impactful, but Allen Gaming is looking to use through choke here. The question is, do they really want to risk the traps, or are they just going to use? And it looks like they're looking for the traps. They're trying to be greedy, but there is still a trap right on pillar. They find it, and now there's a trap on the ledge. Doesn't dead on rope pieces, and he's in. They get the early force, but the trap picks up.
This gets Dylan. This is going to make it really hard. However, we do see stickies coming out from Hunter. He's trying to lock down Allen or HR-Team's departure, but
oh my god, so much damage. It's a nuke. It's over. And that trap from Cray he had on the side of point, I'm not sure if anybody saw it on stream, but it's such a weird looking trap because it's literally on the side. It's like, who's that gonna kill? But it reaches the blast radius reaches 2 points. So when Dylan went forward onto point, he had no visibility on that trap and no reason to check it and die to it. So really good trap by Cray.
That was very solid. And then not even, I think you already kind of, got excited about this, but Nimby's collapse in the post was so good as well. I've been so impressed by Nimby.
Put 600 damage on the logs for me real quick. And, we just won't even talk about how it just helped his team wipe them and secure this Uber ad for last. Allen Gaming has not had time to put up a gun. They do have the heavy and secret, which is a little... I'm not a big fan of it. He can't get fully buffed, and he's pretty spammable, but... And the Pyro doesn't lock down River. And Hunter's kind of caught, but he doesn't die.
Rope Pieces does go down, and the Heavy sitting in secret right now is not going to be able to do much. The Heavy not really... You really want the Heavy... Oh my gosh. It's Nimby, but Cray takes down him just as fast. I will say, not a big fan of the heavy play there, just on the merit of one, he could easily be hurt without this Tomislav, but also the heavy didn't really do its job of absorbing the Uber there, and a single heavy can't really block points super well, and I think in Secret specifically easy gets spammed from.
Yeah, there was a... We're going back to mid. Seeing both demos do the same rollout once again with lock and load pipes going into big door. He's not going to connect any though. So, oh, but an early bomb from Pelt into elbow does a ton of damage, but no picks. And
we do see the bombs into HRTeam finding 3 picks. With only Cray and Mopsy being left alive right now. We do see, I think, Bumbo trying to wrap, but he just isn't quite fast enough. So Mopsy and Cray will get out. And it looks... I wonder if they're going to try and refight second. They get all of their spawners now, however, we do see Enigma spawning on the engineer, meaning it looks like they're just going to elect to hold last. Knowing they should be at slight Uber disadvantage, I wonder if Alan Gaming is going to try and take this 10% Uber at him.
Nobody takes this. And if they would at this point, it would be bad, but... I will say, that was a... I mean, I was watching the Red Soldiers. They got destroyed. I'm happy the Blue Soldiers countered and did well. And we need more mids like that out of Alan Gaming if they, like I said, want to get a foot back in the game. I'm not sure we've seen them try and break this stalemate before yet. This last on HRTeam's last, so kind of curious how they're going to go about it. It seems like they're opting for halftime.
Mopsy really good jukes there. She jukes out the first 2 rockets, meaning Bumbo only had 1 more rocket to shoot her with. He manages to hit it, but she serves it cleanly, and her scout had plenty of time to clean up the soldier. Meaning now that the 2-man coming out from Alan Gaming, we're gonna have to see how HRTeam elects to counter.
They're a little slow, and oh, whoa! They're committing their heals through baby door.
This is brave. This is innovative. They get the soldier through. He gets a good bit of damage up top, but they end up forcing because
no, that was never good.
I think it was innovative, but not in the right way.
That
was...
yeah, you know. We'll let the round play
Exile finds Europe, I will say. That's a pretty good late pick. However, the Uber comes in and there's not a lot of defensiveness.
If convert this push, they are going to be tilted out of their mind.
Yeah, it's rough as we actually see Craig getting the lock and load pipe onto Dylan. Another soldier coming in.
Exile. He dies in secret. 3v3.
It's the pain train soldier on point. Oh,
and they don't convert. Yeah, the game gotta be mad. They have gotta be mad. And Tony trying to 1v1 Magma in big door is losing, understandably.
The scout's dropping at the same time on the Mopsy. He gets a lot of good shots on her, but Cray with the lock and load pipes is able to clean up Europe just in time. Mopsy lives and Tony has gone down.
Like this HRTeam is primed to get mid for free. Primed to use Uber into second and set up. This is looking like a last to last. I will say...
Dylan is sniping. He is sniping from big door, and I don't know if he's spotted yet. This is actually a pretty tough angle for them to spot, and if he takes it slowly, he could secure a pretty good sightline onto Mopsy. As she's watching me die!
Mopsy kind of like stood still in front of Choke and Stutter Step. If anything, I might have missed that shot just because what bizarre movement, but it panned out for Dylan with his patience. There goes Brad, and now Alan Gaming's kind of back in the driver's seat. It's not as big as they would like, 40%. They'll probably have to use Intimate through big doors, my guess. But at least they're not getting last to lasted. I will say, I'm just this trap on mid. Is this meta? I don't play demo. I saw Hunter used it when they backed up to mid, and now Craze got it again. I'm curious to see if it'll pick up anybody else, because to me it just seems like such a hard read that somebody actually dies to that trap. But anyways, we do see Alan Gaming is rotating big door with the rad. I'm predicting a demo bomb here. There it goes.
And that's exactly what happened. As he bumps through, they're not going to find much. Both soldiers kiting out towards big door and the combo out through choke. They're seeing if they can take any space. However, the scout ends up going down just a sliver of HP. He gets bowed up, but that Uber found nothing. It was so broadcasted. They waited so long before getting their demo through to pop, and now Moxie coming on her own Uber. They might. It looks like they are going to try and stop point. They get their demo in through fast, 2 stickies and clean with the Uber. That's actually aggressive. So crazy. And I think they may find road pieces as well. Yeah, they find both soldiers. Maybe going down on the exchange, but both soldiers on Gully Wash is a very good pick.
Choke is free. No bomb, no stuff. Oh my god,
Cray is, oh my god.
He does the combo, rolled the medic, and he took the buff right off of Hunter.
I think earlier when Tony died on Red second, we thought that was pretty scary then, but it's gotta feel so much scarier now because they're sitting on their own last, and Mobsy currently has about 50% ad.
This is a round. This is a cray round. He bombed in with the Uber to stop mid. He bombed in to kill the medic on second. He is absolutely turned up these last couple scraps, and yeah. Demo's really important going into Gully Wash last year, so why are they taking Pelt? I don't know.
they get the soldier pretty quickly. They get Yerb as well. That's
Cray
the heavy down.
Is in behind, and it is looking like a wrap here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you doubted Pelt, but I think Soldier Ubers on Gully Wash last are pretty strong, even if Cray has been kind of showing off a little bit. Either way, we are coming on to this next mid. We see 2 rounds for HRTeam. Walrex, like you mentioned, I'm wondering how much they're benefiting off of the fact that they played this map a lot in the normal season.
Yeah, I will say these lock mode spam pipes into Big Door are not paying off for HRTeam right now, and a huge bomb from Row Pieces is killing Mopsy early into the mid. This should just be a feedway from HRTeam, and they are going at it, and they get close, but they aren't quite going to get it. That said, Exile did sneak in through elbow and pick up Hunter. I'm thinking that pick's not going to matter. They're still going to get mid and second, and they're going to have ad for last. So it was a good try, but once again, Allen Gaming is in the driver's seat. They do clear Nimby on the hiding spot over choke, using the extra high spot. And once again, that late death, probably not going to matter. It's really just going to come down to whether or not Allen Gaming can kind of sort out this last push. They kind of beefed it last time. They couldn't get... enough. Well, yeah, they couldn't get enough cap time to close it out, and then the time before that, they let HRTeam get Uber, which as Mopsy closes in on 80%.
She's at 80%. I will say, Allen Gaming seems to have like a pattern of being very slow to push off on these Uber ads. As they finally decide to use in, Mopsy has her Uber. She's walking forward and she flashes, getting all her players, and then with a huge bomb from Pelt, he's gonna be able to catch off the demo.
And they do get, I don't know how, okay, Hunter does die. They also got Tony in. I think that was a wrap from Alchemy. And,
yeah, Bumbo is hiding in the spot right now. He finally drops down, is able to get a good bit of damage, but dies in the process. We see,
Sigma is taking a 2v1 in River.
They're going to last. The flankers are going to the last right now. At least Dylan was. I don't think Ropeace is committed with him, no. Ropeace is just now committing in a little bit late, and he's just going to get cleaned up. I really would have liked to see him commit with this scout there. I would have loved to see him commit with the scout.
Here, because if he'd lived, Allen Gaming would actually have a pretty good reason to try and hold second. But Nimby's kind of returning the favor here with that bomb right into the demo with no follow-up, but Allen Gaming is opting to leave. I really would have liked to see a bit of a dry fight there. But it looks like they're going to give up mid to the Uber, and they're going to let things even out. I will say, if HRTeam is slow enough in this use, even though these look like they're lining up for a demo bomb, if they're slow, then, yeah, well, no, they used it, so they're not slow. Allen Gaming is definitely going to get Uber here. And
they do get Bumbo, but I'd love to see HRTeam push the flank here. They have that one soldier pick in the roamer, and I think them. Oh, but the entirety of AG is going through dropdown. They get it pretty cleanly, taking their scout and demo. We don't see Tony eating a lot of spam, just one spam rocket late into the fight.
And a great force from Nimby. He got air pipe, but he kind of used it to go into Tony even faster.
Yeah, I would have liked to see AG, instead of backing up onto their own side after taking all that room, they could have even played the low ground because they were dealing with soldiers, sure, but it would have been a little bit more spacious than like being bombed on their side by 2 soldiers. Either way, Pelt and Nimby both down. We see a lot of damage showing up from Cray.
And they pick up Cray. Huge knee shot from Dylan. This is something that might have slipped by people. When they capped mid, Pelt and Nimby spawn timers were literally less than 0. They were like a fraction of a second off of getting 2 soldiers in forwards that second, and
they're getting
that
back
spawn
right
time
now.
might be the round as Allen Gaming has so much pressure on last, but no, they stabilized.
If Row Pieces had committed, yet again, I really would have liked to see Row Pieces commit onto the point there instead of just sitting in river and spamming. His scout got a lot of cap time, and if Row Pieces had jumped on the point, he would have done a lot of damage. In fact, he may have been able to clean up some of the damage that Dylan did. At last, Row Pieces kind of baited in river, and now we're moving to see even Ubers on last, with Dylan coming up on Spy.
And early use from Mopsy and very lit in the post. This is looking bad for HRTeam. Exile is trying to pump out as much damage as he can. He gets a soldier.
And Nimby finds Morska as well. With that, there are 2 players down. We still have a Spy to contend with. The Spy is going to left. There's so many picks, but the Spy is being caught out. He can clean up the soldier right now.
Nimby. He goes 1 pistol shot away. Nimby with 13 manages to lock it down. And not to be distracted from a huge bomb on choke from Pelt, he basically wiped the rest of Allen Gaming by himself. And that's terrifying because unless my HUD deceives me, there is just over 3 minutes left in the round, and I'm sure HRTeam is trying to make this a 3-0. If they're not, they're more than happy to just post up forward and make sure that they lock down a 2-0 lead.
High bomb coming into choke. Not quite as good as Snimpy's, with Mopsy baiting way farther into choke than Tony did. Ropieces is going to be down on this next push. Mopsy coming in on Uber. We do see Tony not too far behind, however. The Uber gun was never that big to begin with, and having a gun to contest with it may make HRTeam Super a little not as good as they'd like. As they begin to use them through main, it has to get the gun quickly, and they do just that. However, Bumbo rather is going to die, as well as Ropieces. Both are just going down very quickly.
Need to get the point.
Yeah, the Uber comes off the save point.
But they've lost 3, and yeah, and this is so great from the HRTeam soldiers. They bait into water, and that basically just wastes all of Allen Gaming's Uber, because they know they can't chase into water to get off point, but they know they can't leave point. Yeah, it's a really good juke for the HRTeam soldiers, and just close out the half, 3-0.
Yeah, I will say, for a map that's very soldier dependent, I think we're kind of seeing some interesting thing coming out from both team soldiers. On one side, I like that Nimby is playing extraordinarily well, I want to say. I think his mechanics are showing right now. His jumps have been very clean throughout the entire match tonight, but on Gullywash specifically, we're seeing him get away with a lot of things. He's able to get in and get out in times where you feel like he should have died, and then that one clean bomb he had into choke, that you weren't super fond of, but he was able to get the force with. Things like that are really coming through.
Been doing good, but if I'm gonna be honest, considering Gullywash is such a soldier-heavy map, so people say, I honestly feel like the soldiers have been taking a bit of a sideline here, especially for HRTeam. I think Cray has just been one-man tanking this entire map. And Exile too is making a lot with the little with these Ubers. I think the HRTeam combo is actually stepping up pretty hard here, where you would have thought the soldiers would be dictating the pace. Meanwhile, Allen Gaming's combo, I think, is just kind of getting caught in like really awkward spots over and over again.
Yeah, I will say, looking at the logs at least, you are seeing the top damaging players being Ropieces and Nimby, followed by Cray, but lower on the board we do see Hunter, so I do think Cray is putting in a lot of work, especially because he's going 22-5. He actually has less deaths than both medics, and it's not even because he's baiting, considering he has the 3rd highest DPM in the server.
I mean, he's taking 114 damage. I don't really care about stats, but when your demo is taking less damage than the other team's medic, that's suspicious.
I don't think, and I don't, like I said, I don't think it's because Cray's baiting. I just don't think he's getting shot at. When you have players like Ropieces who currently have 270 DPM top damaging the server, you gotta wonder, where is that damage going towards? Because even if he has like a decent KD and good damage, we haven't seen him commit in a lot of fights where he needs to be committing on, and likewise, even if he has that much damage, I don't think the damage is really going where it needs to be going. It could be going towards players like Cray who need to be punished, but instead, Cray just sitting comfortably at 22-5 with 114 damage taken per minute.
Please enlighten me. I'm not really confused. I know is running, or you're not running a train on anybody this game, but Cray is running a train. But I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, you guys already said what I wanted to say about Cray, but I want to say something else. I want to bring it back to Pelt. I think these Pelt Ubers are actually working because it's not about gameplay, gameplay-wise. It's about mental warfare, right? It's like, how we listen to this stupidest solo
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. That one time, Pelt, here's what I like, all right? Pelt takes his heals, takes Mopsy. So, all right, let's paint the scene, right? HRTeam's holding last. Allen Gaming just 2-manned. Lost a soldier and a scout. Pretty standard. They back up to the end of river by the bats area. Pretty standard. Pelt takes his heals through water to under river. I like it up to that point because the worst thing when you're a sacking soldier into an enemy team is like, by the time you get in position to sack, you don't have a buff and you just melt. So getting 300 that close to the force, really good. What I really hated is just how far Mopsy committed, and like there were traps on Shutter. Mopsy could not get out Shutter, right? If in my opinion, if they had brought their heals all the way to the water door, it's not water, sorry. I have I said water all these times? I meant baby door, wood. I always confuse water and wood because they start with W.
Mhm.
That's hard.
Wood. All right. Sorry, I do play this game, but if if Pella just taken his 300 and then Mopsy had dipped back out of wood, I think it actually would have been inspired. I would have liked it. But Mopsy committed, and I don't think that's because Mopsy wanted to commit. I feel like no medic playing for themselves would say, yeah, I'll just walk in there. I'm sure Pelt was saying, like, let's go. Let's roll him. It was really bad. So, yeah, and then Allen Gaming just beefed their push into last. I don't know. I think it was such a funny play. I think it's almost like comical. I feel like Pelt is throwing Mopsy into all these funny, goofy situations, and they have yet to be punished. And yeah, I think you're right on. That's got to be taking a toll on Allen Gaming. When you're seeing this and you're like, "Oh, this is ridiculous," and then they lose. It's like we're losing to this.
I mean, if I was on Allen Gaming right now, I would be fuming. I would be shitting my pants. I would just be screaming and crying because that Uber that you described was one of the worst Ubers I've seen by far. Yet they didn't lose the round. That's
yeah, it is brutal, and yeah, it's I just don't really, I want to say like HRTeam's defense is great, and it is, but Allen Gaming's they've just gotta rewrite their pushes a bit, especially like they take so long to push when they win mid, and then they just blindly use through Shutter. Like it's such a bad combo. Like you're not spotting, you're far from the point, you're easily stuffable, and you're letting Ubers equal out. Like, but I'm not hopeless at all because Allen Gaming has been winning mids, and they've been winning dominantly. In that Mopsy has been dying, and Tony has been staying alive. All they need to do to bring this game back is convert those last pushes. And I think simple, easy breezy solution is stop taking so long on your transitions and just bust through river, go straight to point. I think they just need that change of pace, and they can be right back in it.
Yeah, I will say that's like something that seems to be a general trend. When Allen Gaming does have Uber, and it's not even like Tony is lagging behind or a one player is lagging behind, I don't really know why they slow down so much, but they have what would be a 70% Uber advantage, and it evens out by the time they use in because they're just so slow in taking space. And I don't know if they're just trying to clear things and they're just trying to be very thorough, but either way, in being so slow, they honestly have lost a lot of really good opportunities to push last because HRTeam has so much time to set up on last, get their gun up, get their pyro into a position, have Mopsy get really close to her Uber if she doesn't already have it. It makes it really tricky for them to do anything anytime they have some sort of advantage.
Yeah, it's I think they just need to pick up the speed. Like I said, like these rounds could be 1 minute and 30 seconds if Allen Gaming just starts converting off these mid fights. And I think that is their saving grace right now, is that they are winning the mids, and they have that advantage to play with, and they can push that to last if they just do it right. And like I said, I hope that's what's on their minds. I hope they're not like microwing, like, and we shouldn't have died in river that one time, or it's like, oh, did we clear big door that one time? It's like that's not what I think they need to fix. I really think they just need to get this this mid to last on lock, and they'll start pushing it back.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Is there anything you'd like to see in terms of individual performances?
I mean, I am liking what I'm seeing. I mean, I love Nimby. We've been talking him up, and he's been playing really well.
Nimby is
He's been playing
so
really
good.
well. I'm still just not a proponent of the high bomb from River into choke.
I mean,
know
to be fair,
if
he
they
only
aren't
did it.
looking
He
for it, you
only
can't
did it
see.
once.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying that Row Pieces literally did the exact same bomb, and he did
But
it
Ro-
the exact
no,
same
no,
way. And it's
NIMBY got
awful.
no. Row Pieces did the same bump, but he did not get nearly as deep into choke as
he
NIMBY
streaked
did.
it. I think he got pretty close. I think the fact is that Alan Gaiman wasn't looking for it, and HRTeam was.
Hey, that's definitely a factor for sure.
You know, I think, but I'm just nitpicking. Like NIMBY has been playing really well. He got the force on mid that one time. He's and I want to say even like NIMBY and Pelt. Like if I'm going to be honest, I'm thinking about it and like it's like a slideshow going over in my head. Alan Gaming and Choke do not seem to mix.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Anytime it seems Alan Gaming has to clear a choke, they've slowed down drastically, and I think that might be one of the reasons why they're so slow on these Uber pushes.
Especially Gollywash Choke. The chokiest choke of all chokes and sixes. Alan Gaming does not seem to be able to navigate it, and then it's like they're just getting every time I've seen them get absolutely nuked, wiped, and destroyed, it's kind of been in Gollywash Choke, and a few times in Shutter at Last for other reasons. But yeah, maybe they rethink their positioning a little too. Maybe if they start leveraging Big Door a little harder, that'll even things out too. But yeah, right now, I think Alan Gaming's looking to just keep winning these mids and start converting to less. And that was a fake start.
That was a bait, yeah. Your change team's not ready at the last second.
Oh, here we go. All right. But yeah, and then HRTeam, I think they're just going back to the office, all right? They don't need to win. They just need to let Alan Gaming lose the game. Take it slow.
This really is HRTeam's game to lose right now and Alan Gaming's team to win as we see the demos rolling out. Now it's going to take them a second to get through choke, but it looks like the health is relatively equal as we again see the lock and load spam coming out from Cray. However, Mossy getting a lot of damage from Hunter as she tries to make her way through elbow. It doesn't look like she's going to get cleaned up, however NIMBY and Bumbo do trade for each other. And Dylan and Enigma also trading. Ropisis goes down really late. That's going to give the numbers add to the favor of HRTeam as the scout on HRTeam Exile is trying to take
Hunter
space.
Is caught. So
yeah, Hunter should die here. He gets a really good prize in Exile.
That's a great like consolation prize.
Yeah,
Exile in chat. Sorry, I pushed you.
Exile
won't do it again.
Exile typing in chat. Sorry, I pushed you. Won't do it again.
Really is a dumb moment. And I mean, it is kind of a big deal. Exile was the only scout left up for HRTeam, and if they really wanted to push the numbers advantage into second, it was gone. But that said, they've converted this directly into a sack wave, and Bumbo trying to go for some goofy spoons.
Yeah.
And Dylan eating a...
Exile's on Spy. I do want to throw that out there. I think he might have been spotted out, but I don't know. I think he just narrowly avoided the scattergun shots of Yerb. Yeah, it looks like he did, as Exile manages to make it all the way through the big door flank.
This is good. This is a pretty off-timing Spy. Oh,
as he manages to get right onto Tony, but Tony gets to that last second. He's just trying to pistol down Tony, but he isn't able to hit the shots.
Barely in Tony's FOV. And yeah, that was too bad. But Tony, I guess, mixed comms, they wanted to take this exchange, but Tony uses really early.
Even if they have the worst Uber here, you have to remember that Pelt and Exile are both down for HRTeam, so even if they have the better Uber, they can't take too much space off of it. As they begin to rotate their heals through Big Door, they're trying to take space through with what they can, but both of the scouts on HRTeam are going to push the blue players back out through Big Door. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to be settling into a stalemate. Interestingly enough, Tony is sitting at about 20% Uber ad. I don't know how well these players will know what the Ubers are, just because I think base Uber counting would tell you that the Ubers are relatively even right now. However, because Tony has just been building all around better than Mopsy, he is sitting at 20% ad. If he had had, he would know. But
I mean, if they had any reason to push, it was off 10% ad in a pick, but I wouldn't see it. I do think it's a good time to sack, though. You see as Bro Pieces goes, he's actually through drop down unseen. Oh, but he gets swiftly denied by Enigma.
They are down 3 players currently. Dylan getting dropped by Tony. Tony's gonna have to pop to save his demo and then try and get out with Uber. He's holding the Uber as long as he can. Wow.
Is it enough to offset being
player
3 down though?
The soldiers are gonna come in late, but because they have to back up onto their own lab. Yeah,
the picks are coming out. A 2-pipe from Hunter.
The soldiers from red are gonna be coming in soon.
And Europe saves Tony from
Yeah,
NIMBY. Yeah,
that
this
was an
is...
insane milk from Tony. Like, if I was him, I would have tried to leave long ago, but Tony decided, no, we're not giving up this point, and kind of took his team onto his shoulders and got them through.
That was tough. I mean, there always comes that point as a medic where, you know, there's the point of no turning back. And Tony definitely reached that point, and he played it well.
He played it very well. I'm very impressed by what Tony just did there. As we began to move on to Allen Gaming taking red or blue second rather. Mopsy sitting at about 40% Uber just had Nigma already getting the gun up as much as he can. It's already at level 2. It looks like he's just going to build it by spawn before moving it. Can Allen Gaming take this Uber in before it's too late? I will say, I think this might go better. So, Caster's cursing. Wow.
Dylan, no, he even saw the trap.
Oh, that was sad. But I was gonna say, I think this might go better just because Allen Gaming will come up on the Uber right as they're ready to use through, which will secure that the Uber had stays, and that's exactly what happened. They get in, get the gun really quickly, and are gonna be trying to sticky off the spawn. The Nima manages to get up, but he's gonna get cleaned up by the Allen Gaming players really quickly. Actually, I eat my words on that. Cray
lives in water, and he's setting up for an arrow, but Mopsy gets bombed. Great bomb from Bumbo.
However, that's probably going to signal the all-out from aggression coming from HRTeam. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, I won't lie. I don't think the med pick was the... No, it was good, I think. It was good. That was definitely a good pick.
Was Magma on 30 health, swiftly dodging both scouts from Allen Gaming and then killing Tony.
Yeah, that was an impressive play.
That was some good movement from Magma, and that was he really should have died every time there. So he played that really strong mechanically. Bombo hiding in elbow in the bush.
And Dylan on sniper. There's a lot of things happening. Dylan actually peeking really deep through big door right now. He might be able to shoot the soldier on top of the point, and that's exactly what happens. But that's going to be all he's going to be able to get. If he begins to peek deep with soldiers collapsing on him, there goes Dylan.
This is not good. This is looking like, well, the spawners are coming up, but Cray's in. The stickies at Shutter. Yeah, this is looking like seconds free.
Yeah, and it's the Uber that I think was supposed. I think the Uber was always going to be small. I forgot Mopsy did die on last to row pieces, so good pick from row pieces. Like kind of preemptively, obviously he didn't know that the Ubers needed to be even up, but Mopsy dying on last means there's only about 7% out. I want to say for HRTeam, but they have been shown that they're willing to take really aggressive Ubers when they think the ad is bigger, and that was exactly what's going to happen
the
here.
The man of the hour, the solo pelt Uber with
they
the scout
find Bumbo, they find the gun, they find row pieces. They find 3 things with that Uber, but the late Uber coming up from Tony, this is just going to be dependent on how well HRTeam can kite this Uber, and it's kind of they do pretty well.
Yeah,
in fact, they managed to take high ground in the post, but the Pyro's trying to corner Cray. Cray's probably going to burn to death, and that he does. Wow. They're finally getting all the picks that they need, however, Mopsy dropping on the point a little preemptively as now the soldiers can clean up everything. Can Exile find these picks in time? But no, Bumbo with the clip. Oh man, Mopsy dropped onto a point. That was a little greedy there, I won't lie. However,
yeah, I think they lost track of the respawn timers because they did get the wipe on Allen Gaming. They just couldn't cap before the soldiers came back up.
Yeah. However, I will say Mopsy dying there, not the end of the world. I think it was fine to try and go for that last point as she did spawn on Tony's spawn wave.
Oh, and here comes a dry fight with Cray with a deep... What is Cray? Okay.
Ropies just finds the medic as they get in. Cray going down and Ropies is getting cleaned up.
But Nimby's going to last now. Nimby's going to last now, but Bumbo's on
being chased, yeah.
Yeah, okay, no, he's not going to get anything.
He did manage to find Tony. I think Nimby's distraction play caused enough chaos for them to secure the medic pick.
Yeah, because they did send a scout back along with Bumbo on last. And Exile is going to win the 1v1 with no health. Wow, alright. That was just a total all-in from HRTeam, and they looked poised to get punished for it pretty hard, but they pull it out in the end. Yeah, good distraction from Nimby going to last and Exile cleaning up second. Well, if you're on gaming, you once again hate to be in this position.
Yeah, especially because this time Mopsy spawning so much earlier than Tony. I mean, she's going to have a more sizable ad to work with. Morska currently coming up on Spy. I don't know if he's committing on it. No, he's not. We did see a sniper initially from Dylan, but again, they're not committing into any unusual off-class. It's just the standard Engineer Pyro. However, Mopsy's ad is dwindling. They've started building very slowly. The classic, both your players standing with you are now fully buffed, and that's going to dwindle their ad down to 10% as they finally get it to use through.
Here we go. Health is in. The Uber's out, so it's an early force, but the gun's up, so Health's gonna... He's actually not dead. Wait. Oh my god, he's making me a believer. Every single time he takes an Uber, I get closer and closer to seeing the light. But Mopsy is gonna go down in the post, so
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty rough for HRTeam. I don't see any threat of a back cap with both players just kind of rolling out right now. We see Exile threatening it through Baby Door Shutter, but he isn't gonna commit. He gets spotted out pretty early on, and now Tony makes his way out on the second with the rest of his team, sitting pretty comfortably at
Pelt
about a 30%
just
Uber at.
in
Yeah,
with
Pelt's bombing, and they are getting stuck without a fight. Hunter actually has stickies ready for him on top of the point. As
and a
we see
counter
Ropies
bomb
high
from
bombing,
Ropies
he gets really
rolls
good rockets onto Nimby,
and Cray's caught forward. This is a clean setup to push.
Yeah,
No
this
demo,
is
down
very
a soldier. This is looking free, and they have ad, and they have good forward pressure. If I was Allen Gaming, I would take this all the way. There goes row pieces, more space, more time. They can deny Cray right now as Hunter's in.
We actually see Dylan, I think, or XL rather, getting onto snipers when the forward spawn opens. And he's caught out, and he does die. That's like a late death. This is everything Allen Gaming needed. Mopsy stopped building for a bit as well. This is a solid 20%.
This is pigs. This is go time. Here comes Dylan, leading the push. Gets Cray right away. Focus. If the heavy goes down, I think that's it. And 3 pipes from Hunter's going to take him down. Should be around.
Yeah, even with Mopsy coming in on her Uber very shortly, she was just in spawn a little too long, and the rest of her team with her, no one's going to be able to get out and block point. And that's going to be a round on the board for Allen Gaming.
Alright, 1-3. Their mids a little shaky last mid, but they're still going pretty even, still have a chance. We'll see how it goes. The iron, or the fast pipes, still not connecting in big door. Pelt with a nice bomb onto Yerb. Gonna give them a quick pick at the start of
Hunter going down as well.
And
I think
Nimby
with a huge wrap. Find Tony as well. Nimby rather.
Textbook.
That was really about as textbook as a wrap as you can get on Soldier.
And here we go. HRTeam saying, you guys don't know how to push last on ad from mid? There's already traps on spawn.
Oh my gosh, they get Dylan, but Soldier's locking down the left spawn as well. This is so rough. They're trying everything they can to break up.
I mean, they've already capped second. Exile's going to point. The Uber's still in play.
Yeah, Mopsy flashes her scout, and they just managed to clean up the cap. That was as fast of a round as it could be.
Everybody on HRTeam collectively got it from their keyboards and swapped out with somebody from Ferriotech that round. That was strange how dominant that was.
That was everything that went right there. Like, that could have gone right, went right. Cray, what are you doing,
side,
you madman?
Hunter can't get into mid. If they take right side early, their demo's locked out.
Soldier on him as well. Hunter's hitting as many pipes as he can. Nimby trying to just live. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Even just to land on the path.
Oh my god, Nimby is living behind. And
he's actually
this
just now
could make
wrapping.
all the difference as he spams. Exile's in on the distraction and gets Tony. And they're actually going to push that distraction. Thank you.
Yeah, with the Soldier landing on the Mopsy. He has to hit this air shot here, and he just barely misses it. Nice try from Bumbo, but not much is going to be done. Hunter getting sauced as he jumps in through big door. Oh no.
Man. Who would have thought Nimby landing on a small pack to save his life with 5 health would make all the difference in HRTeam retaking mid. And just like that, they have ad for last. They aren't really in position to roll it like they did last time, but I feel like Allen Gaming's a little shook there. They're forward. Row pieces goes down for the force. I'd be shook
after that one round. I won't even lie. I'd be quaking right now.
Yerb is getting spammed before he can put the gun down. This is scary. And the pyro shutter while the Uber goes river.
I feel like every time they've kind of gotten... they have 2 pyros, I will say that. One pyro may have been shutter, but the other pyro was ready to deny the combo.
Exile's on heavy. He goes down, so the post-Uber heavy isn't going to work out this time. And if they can just clean up Cray in water, is a good hold. A good hold from Allen Gaming. I guess double pyro on Gully Wash. You know, I haven't really seen that since I, stopped playing like sober 5 years ago. But it's pretty. It's working out.
Yeah, and it's returning to see Hunter. I will say Hunter not electing to stay in lobby to lock it down does open up the baby door shutter for a backup if someone wants to take it. It looks like Nimby's, they're keeping a close enough eye on it so Pelt isn't going to be able to do so. Tony just coming in on his Uber with Mopsy only at 50%, both soldiers sitting on the nipple. We're going to have to see how Allen Gaming wants to take this as they begin to rotate to big door.
It's looking like a demo bomb. Here he goes, both soldiers trying to jump out. And it's leaving. Alright.
Yeah.
Dylan commits pretty far in a choke, but he's not going to get caught. Thing is, HR team at 95%. Can they actually cap the point? Here
They
comes the
used
demo
through
bomb. Craig
getting
how
into
does-
block
what
point
is
yet
that
again.
bomb?
They've done this again. This is the
What
repeat
is
from
that? That
last
is not
half.
an easy sticky jump
He
either.
he does 2 stickies and gets the absolute best horizontal momentum that he can get.
Oh my, and
And
Nimby
Tony
cleans
gets
up.
down.
Wow.
Nimby playing out of
Wait,
his
Bumbo
mind.
on
But
mid?
the back
Bumbo
cap,
on
yeah,
mid?
Bumbo's
Nope.
gonna do what he
Both
can.
soldiers. Maybe if it was one of them, he got Nimby. He's actually gonna get pelt too, but
He got both soldiers.
I mean,
Bumbo
actually,
2v1 and 1.
that
or
is that
1v2
enough?
rather.
Is Allen Gaming gonna be able to retake second? Has Bumbo?
They have
Well,
to.
Hunter's
They have
there.
to. Our team has
Nobody
no.
else is. What's
Where's
going on in
his team?
what is going
Where's
on in
his
the
team?
comms right now?
No, they're playing it so
No.
safe. No.
I think Hunter wanted to go, and everybody else was not on his page.
Oh, that is so sad. Oh, Hunt, they could have followed that. Bumbo's 1v2 win going down the drain for nothing. Oh.
Well, not nothing. HR team
Yeah,
was
it slowed them
in
down, it slowed
position
them
to
down.
roll
Yeah,
last
yeah,
cleanly.
you're right.
They slowed down, but there is still 30 ad coming in. It looks like they're setting up to go locker. Not called.
They get
Gets
in
used
decently
early.
cleanly. No demo to take down the gun, however. That gun's
This
gonna
is-
take a hot minute to go
Yeah,
down.
this is not looking good. This is not looking good for HR team.
Yeah,
the
especially as
flank
Tony
is
comes in on
rolled
his
in
Uber.
river,
Both
but-
soldiers bombing in. Both of them hurt. They managed to get a couple picks here with Magma and Cray both going down. Bumbo being exchanged in the
Nimby's
meantime.
in post? Oh, too late
Nah,
to get 2 rockets on the
Yeah, and with Exile and Mopsy out entirely, that's going to be a clean second take for Allen Gaming. We're going to have to see what they can do with this Uber, however, because Mopsy did get out with their scout, so they've been building this entire time, so that Uber ride is dwindling very quickly. Only sitting at about 40% right now, which was initially about 90%. They get into choke clearly, knowing there's not going to be any demo set up, and they managed to take it all the way to choke, securing mid very
Respite
quickly.
on to Exile. Yeah, it
And
looks
they're
like they
just
want to
taking
take
it further. Yeah,
Get
this
through
is
the
so
choke.
good.
Get through the choke.
This is so good
Here
for
they
them.
go.
They use in right now, and it looks like they're gonna catch out Cray. And
That's
oh,
huge.
Dylan's
Oh
running
my
through.
God, Mopsy's caught as
running.
well.
She's at 10%.
Oh no,
She's
oh
so
no.
low. She's so low.
Is that not Fenomeno? Not Fenomeno.
Fenomeno, no. And it looks like Tony's gonna be caught out too. He overextended so far to help his scout get onto Mopsy that he was able to get wrapped from River. No one was watching. And that's 3 picks for HR team. We're gonna have to see if anyone can get onto Mopsy in the post, but they're just taking space right now very comfortably.
Oh my
Nigma
God,
goes
but
down
they
as
kill
well.
back
They're
early.
completely getting
They kill-
damaged.
Oh my God, Hunter is punishing them. And just like that, Yerb is in deep. He is by himself, but oh yeah, don't.
He just has to live here. He just has to live here. And if he does, he knows it's time to back up and go meet his heels as they come
Oh
through
my
choke.
God. These pipes are going so fast, the scouts can't
Oh,
avoid them.
big bomb onto the
Sniper
demo.
River.
Craig going down. I don't know if the sniper
Called.
River,
He
like
is
once he's
called,
called,
and he is pressure Dylan.
that's
All
good.
right,
That's
and it looks
really good.
They have this hat here, but they have 3 picks in a demo pick. They flood in right now, and Hunter's already in. He is alone, but he is in. Heavy top left. Hunter is swinging him.
Rope
Good
pieces get
damage.
Mopsy.
Good damage.
Bomb rope pieces in. They got mobs. This is going about as well as it could. I did not expect the try
That
there.
is it. Yeah, the way Allen Gaming's been playing, I didn't think they'd do it, but honestly, Hunter is kind of leading the way. I think Hunter has had enough.
Walrex, I think we're entering upset territory now. I think the way the map was going, we all expect HRT to walk away from this map with the victory, but now it's looking like Allen Gaming could make a comeback, and I'm going to knock on wood as I say that, as we do see everyone arriving to mid. Demo's exchanging damage as is tradition. They both teams taking their respective sides. No one's going for anything quite yet. Tony sitting only about half HP. He gets the pack to top himself off.
But Bumbo gets the wrap on Nimby on the ground.
Yeah.
That's a free roamer pick, and yeah, honestly, I think HR team has to leave. They are in no
They're
position
getting
to fight
wrapped
this,
right now.
but
Ropey's
Bumbo's up
pitching,
top
or
now.
Bumbo rather. And they're getting completely collapsed
There it
by
is.
rope pieces and Rusher.
Oh my goodness, I was gonna say I didn't think they had the pinch on them, but Row Pieces goes in and makes a huge play. Mopsy manages to get out of that situation, which is close, because she was hurt and getting focused. Great from her, but that was it. That was a strong mid from Allen Gaming, especially from Bumbo. Bumbo kind of made that mid work.
Yeah, Bumbo got a lot of work done on that mid. We do see, I believe, Nimby jumping around, just trying to live right now as he bombs out. If he lives here, he created. It's very unfortunate. However, the force did come out from both medics.
Yeah,
Nimby dying is gonna secure the exchange to be better for Allen Gaming. I didn't really see what forced Allen Gaming there, I'll be honest.
They were gonna Exile took the Uber into Hunter, so Tony used to save Hunter. But I do wonder if it was worth it to save Hunter there for
I mean,
Uber.
yeah, Nimby was gonna die regardless. They had Nimby on lockdown, so I kind of wonder. Either way, we do see a drive fight coming into this last
Oh
one.
my God!
Cray going down to a good rocket from
Clean rockets from Row
Pieces.
Pieces.
Urban Road
Mopsy
down.
is roll top left.
Oh, if they have to, they got
pistol her
Mopsy, and now
down.
Tony just has to live. Tony's so hurt though, he just can't survive there. As Hunter's getting wrapped as well, he's trying to lock himself off, and it looks like Hunter's gonna live. Just backing up to the safety of this Soldier and Bumbo. Soldier jumps through the Hunter just...
Don't.
Oh,
Hunter
don't.
has had enough. I'm feeling it. I'm seeing it. I feel like everybody on Allen Gaming is like showing their individual talent right now.
Absolutely. I think that we're clearly seeing what, like, the individual aspects of what makes this team a top Div 1 team. Every single player is so mechanically skilled in their own right that even when the team coordination isn't completely there, they can all make individual plays on their own. And they can get a lot done, but even still, you are seeing really great coordination coming out of them right now, with a lot of good collapses and pinches, as we saw in the mid, which came from Row Pieces, Bumbo, and Hunter to completely shut down HRTeam in their own choke. Either way, there is still a 2-round deficit.
Oh, there it is. There they clean up.
Help.
Okay, but they trade out Soldier. I hate when Soldiers peek blockers, so I'm happy. I'm always happy when it gets punished. But yeah, they traded out, so nothing really is gonna come of it. Yeah, and Dylan is gonna die. I was about to mention that trap on balcony is really good, and it is gonna pick up Dylan. So, oh, maybe going in for the quick counter sack gets quickly denied, but doesn't die. That said, Allen Gaming should be set up to reset. Stalemate should be pretty even, and I'm expecting. Well, I'll tell you what I was not expecting. I was not expecting AG to come up heavy and Pelt to come up spy.
Pelt's decloaking right now. He's ready to get on to Tony. Is the heavy gonna call it out?
No!
The heavy doesn't recognize it! No, Tony going down!
Way! The defensive spy on last.
It's the off-timing theory, Walrex. Something you like to talk about so much.
And the worst part is Dylan literally just came up on heavy. Heavy is so useless without a medic.
It's rough. It's very rough. But if Dylan can catch anyone off guard, that may be okay. You actually see Dylan hiding entirely behind the point here, so I wonder what he's going to try and get done with this positioning.
Also, Europe is in the pipe spot, and they do check.
They catch him out super quickly.
I think it's the first time it's been used this game, but always check those. And full ad for HRTeam pushing out 2 picks. Second should be free.
I will say, they should know that there is a heavy in play because the spy should have seen the heavy. At least I would think so.
Yeah, honestly. Oh.
They clean up Row Pieces, but the heavy's coming out just now. He's on the Tommy sub, no one notices, and he's just trying to mulch the scout. He gets one scout really quickly, but that's gonna be off 2 routes.
Yeah, scout's pretty good, but that is 2 picks at uber disadvantage, and honestly, kind of thinking those players might have been. Well, I was gonna say better well served to force them coming into mid, but Bumbo just walks up elbow and gets the force. That was, I'm gonna say, huge by him, because otherwise there was no way that these, these Ubers were gonna equalize here on second. Honestly, they might have lost second too. So huge play from Bumbo, just walking up elbow, perfect timing.
Yeah, it was definitely good timing. And I think that's just kind of the play they needed right now to get themselves back into this and secure another round. Especially with Tony sitting at 60% Uber. They're going to start making their way through Big Door, but again, you see the ad very quickly diminishing as the bomb comes in. It looks like they might be able to catch out the demo. Cray being barely caught, but no, the sticky
good counter pipe from Cray is actually going to stop Hunter. A good flash from Tony is going to save Rope. They're pushing, they're committing to this. I'm actually really surprised. It doesn't, it didn't seem good.
I'm not too sure about the commit from Hunter there, but we do see both the demo going down. He's getting exchanged for Pelt. Row Pieces, however, ends up being traded out as well. Lopsy coming in at 90% Uber, being down both the Soldier and a demo on Gullywow Schmidt's going to be really rough to push against.
The flank is actually kind of messing people up. If Bumble kills Nimby here,
oh, indeed,
then this is really scary for HRTeam. Yeah, Exile's leaving while Cray's staying forward. But, a good arrow from Ops. He's going to save Cray, and they're going to pick up Dylan because of it.
Yeah, especially because I was going to say, if Bumbo didn't have Pain Train there, they may have been able to play on mid a little bit longer and just outcap, but because they did have the fact that Bumbo was on Pain Train, it's good they went back. They ended up forcing, Stick still on choke, they finally get that. Row Pieces going down for that force, a good exchange, and Tony getting very close to that Uber. In fact, I don't think they're going to be able to block point with Uber, but they are going to have to see how they elect to push while waiting for their soldiers to come up.
They did deny the forwards. Oh, they're committing 2 scouts big door. I think they're trying to wrap the Uber, but Allen Gaming did not commit choke yet, and as a result, Magma's going to get caught, but couple quick pipes from Cray is gonna trade out Dylan, which really sucks for Allen Gaming because they really want their scouts for this push, but it looks like they are just gonna walk it choke, have their soldier clear the traps instead, deal with the double spam from point, but it's looking decent. That same trap on the side of point. Nope, but Cray gets pressured by row pieces and then
someone's going drop down right now. Nimby went drop down and got spot out really quickly, and he's actually just going to be delaying cap right now. He tries to land on Tony, but gets taken out by the scouts pretty quickly alongside a pipe from Hunter. As Mopsy very shortly coming in on her own Uber, we're going to have to see if Allen Gaming continues to elect to push into this second point. Mopsy's sitting at 99%, and they're just giving up the room instead of trying to fight.
Choke though, and they get the force by lighting up Exile, and Cray is really hurt.
Yeah, and they end up popping again to save the demo, and Mopsy just now trying to escape through lobby. It looks like the stickies from Hunter aren't going to be enough to catch her out, but Pelt did go down in the meantime.
Alright, I will say HRTeam could have been punished a lot harder there, so they're very happy that they got their heals out, but they're still 2 down with 1 spawner, and Allen Gaming is once again trying to push off of a very small advantage. That heavy, I was going to say it's looking like it's going to counter it, but oh my, wow!
Yeah, that makes it 4-3. Yeah,
that was a blunder. That was an absolute blunder. I think, I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure it was good from Allen Gaming. I think they're showing their desperation. The timer is going down, just under 6 minutes left in the server. But with that round, they maybe can afford to slow down just a bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, but we're going to see what happens on this next mid. We do see Bumbo going down really early, and actually Nigma manages to get the pick, while Clean Buddy and Row Pieces go down. Hunter going down as well? This is going to make it so much, especially with Tony going down. This is looking dire for Allen Gaming.
And Cray jumps again. He's just frogging all over the place. I don't want to say, but we kind of know what happened last time this happened, but the upside is they did have 2 people that lived at mid to prevent the spawn camp, but this is really scary for Allen Gaming. That mid, they did a double bomb choke. First they've tried, and they got hard denied by Agma. Yeah, this is scary. This is where everything could end for Allen Gaming. A disad push onto last. Gun is moved. What is Dylan up to?
Who knows, but either way, the gun, it looks like it might just be up in time. However, it's right next to spawn. It's not going to deny anything, as the cap time is started.
Out, or is he just BMing by going AFK?
I couldn't tell you, but it looks like Pelt was just coming in late as he manages to get the cap, and that's going to be the match. That's a 5-3 win on Gully Wash, coming in for the upset. HRTeam takes it away. That's really impressive work, especially for a team that no one thought would make playoffs. They come into playoffs and manage to get an upset and keeping themselves alive in the lower bracket and knocking out Allen Gaming. Meaning Allen Gaming securing the 4th place for the season. Definitely nothing to scoff at, but for HRTeam, this has got to be like a monumentous win.
Yeah, I will say that was close. And I mean, the way these matches went, it's almost it tears me in two on process. Allen Gaming with that strong lead in the first half, and then HRTeam clawing it back. I almost thought I saw the same thing, but in reverse, with Allen Gaming finally getting their feet on the ground. But yeah, it only takes one strong mid, and I mean, I hate to say it, but what made HRTeam's mid so strong was that they just countered the Allen Gaming soldiers, shut them down, killed them early, and yeah, just closed it out just like that. HRTeam, bottom seed, is going to continue in playoffs in the lower bracket. Who will they face next is to be determined. Upper bracket has not been played yet.
Yeah, I will say scores on the logs are going to be a little broken, especially with the combined logs. Just because they switched colors. I think Allen Gaming was blue on process and then was red on Gully Wash. It's going to make the scores look a little wonky, but each individual log. They switched sides at halftime too, apparently. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any parting words? How this map went? How the series went?
I think it was kind of interesting to see Allen Gaming, win, chat up and clear cut, then lose process, and then get some hope on Gully Wash, then lose that hope instantly afterwards. I want to say something, and this is not really related to. Well, it's kind of related to the match, but huge shout out to Fenomeno. Without him, HRTeam would not be here.
I'm sorry, I kind
I
of
love
busted that.
Fenomeno, man. I think
No.
Fenomeno should just, God bless him, hero,
He
man.
did kind of possess Dylan in
A
that
hero
moment.
among men. God bless Fenomeno.
The
But that's
unseen seventh player of
the coach.
HRTeam.
Yeah.
That was an unfortunate exchange that was going into HRTeam's lobby. Dylan had that chance they killed Craig, could have killed Mopsy, and I think that they did convert that round, but that moment had to sting, and I do feel like that might have been on Gaming's descent. This whole series is just like a bunch of just stinging mistakes after stinging mistakes, and their impatience rewarded them a bit towards the towards the middle part of Gully Wash when they started just rushing these pushes and it started working out. But you could almost say, just make it really poetic. I think their desperation, their aggression, and their tilt killed them at the very last mid when both of their soldiers said, we're just gonna double bomb. We're just going right into them and immediately die. I really feel like they let themselves loose, and it was working. It was scrappy, but you might need to have a clearer head going into mid.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a necessity, but I don't know. It's unfortunate to see. I think Allen Gaming did play very well. I think they showed why they were one of the top contenders this season, and yeah, it's just may not feel too good. They still played very, very well, all things considered.
Yeah, I almost feel bad because I feel like we haven't shut up about HRTeam this whole set. Maybe it's only right that they win because of it, but everybody had their moments. Cray absolutely dominating Gully Wash.
Hunter with a few really flashy moments from himself, I will say.
He was doing well too. I will say, Nimby was, stellar throughout the whole series.
I was very impressed by Nimby. I remember last season, there was a soldier I was very impressed with in Pikachu. I think this season it's Nimby. His mechanics were so clean.
I love it. I will say, he was solid all the way through, but the one time he rapped on process, killed the sniper, and lived behind, that was inspired. That's the next level.
That's
so
like,
I was really happy to see
I think that's the kind of thing that separates these high Div 1 players from what's going to become invite players. I think that shows, at least in my mind, that Nimby absolutely has what it takes to become an invite player, and I really hope to see him there next season.
Yeah, so he was doing great. Pelt, I was goofing on Pelt, I really was, but I think he does play a central part in his team. I will say, solo soldier Ubers, if there was any map that it was viable on, Gully Wash is that map, and they did work pretty well. And just to pardon him, I know they always take the Uber on Pelt, and then Cray comes in the post. And as long as your demo gets in clean, it's fine. So the theory's all there. I don't want to get hit with the textbook. But he was big distractions. He had a couple strong moments too. One time, he high bomb choke and killed the entire Allen Gaming combo at the same time, and just being in sync with Nimby, having that 2-soldier core.
Alright, walrex, I will say, you should be the last soldier to look at stats and kind of scoff at them as well.
I mean, it's not about the stats.
It's
not about the stats.
It's not, no.
It's about the Ubers. It's about the Ubers.
No, I will say, I think Pelt, regardless, I think even if the stats don't show it, even if the Ubers looked a little funny from our 2020 TF2 perspective, I like to think that he played well with his team, and he was almost like the sacrificial lamb at times, dying so his team could make these really game-winning plays, drawing a lot of eyes so Nimby could get in cleanly behind. I feel like he did see a lot of that as the game went on.
And, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just happy that this set it's not a scout game. I mean, the scouts were playing great on both sides, but they kind of balanced each other out in that sense. I really feel like all of the big swings came down to the power classes. That's the TF2 I like to watch. Not like, my scout will kill this guy, and then he'll kill him, and then we'll kill him. Now there was a lot of powerful moves, a lot of big bombs, a lot of funny traps and sticky jumps. Some high octane TF2. Definitely good on Exile and Magma Scouts. Really holding down their combo on flank. Shout out to all of Allen Gaming's players. like I said, the individual talent really showed towards the tail end of Gully Wash there. There are all a really strong bunch of players. I mean, literally, like, what, Tony, Dylan, Bumble were like a low invite core. Like, strong players. Put on a good show. I really think that just those mids. The mids are the undoing of every good team.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I think that Allen Gaming is not able to secure the mids quite as much as they'd like. Just not exactly the best thing in the world, but that's okay. I think that it doesn't dismiss from what they were able to do, and we saw a lot of really good plays coming out from them throughout this match, especially the turnaround on Clear Cut to open the match up with, going down from being down 2-1 to getting 3 clean rounds in a row. That was impressive in its own right. The way that they were able to gather together and figure out their soldier coordination, figure out their post movers. It's just a shame that they couldn't quite do the same for their process mids.
Yeah, I do think that. I mean, I said it, and they almost proved me wrong, but I said is that if it was going to map 3, it was looking good for HRTeam. It's a real shame that their process mids just got put to bed immediately. I think they only got 1 mid for it before Nimby and Pelt just puzzled it out and ended it.
Yeah, I think that's what it felt like. I just didn't see them adapting a lot, like nearly as much. I think what something HRTeam did was they adapted to Allen Gaming's mids pretty quickly, and you saw a lot of versatility between how they played mids.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the HRTeam moving forward. This is like what their second, because they did get put into the lower bracket by Milky's.
Yeah.
But this is their second match with their new roster, and it is looking good.
Yeah.
And they've got more matches to play. We'll see if they play. It might be a rematch with Milky's in the lower bracket, or it might be Kron's Realm off-white, depending on how the next upper bracket goes. And no matter who it is, they've got a tough fight ahead of them, but they definitely kind of showed their stuff this match. And I'm gonna be honest, they did it. They did it their own way. They did their fair share of goofing around, doing some the hard commit onto second for the spy back cap, everything Cray did, everything Pelt did. It is really a team that is kind of like, people play 2019 TF2. Some people play 2020 TF2. That team's playing, I don't even know. They're playing like 19 BC TF2. They're playing, it's definitely interesting to watch. Also, big shout out to all the casuals who do get to enjoy Cray showcasing all your favorite weapons. Yeah,
hey, man,
really
you made
exciting.
the walk and mode work. You made it work.
You did. You did. You can't. It's not throwing if it works. It's not trolling if it works. And once again, hats off to Allen Gaming. They put up a good fight. I'm really happy they didn't totally go off balance after going down 0-3 on Gully Wash. They really almost brought it back.
It's a hard thing to bring back. I know everyone likes to recall the Morning Light versus 8K game, but that kind of comeback is really, really hard to pull off, and what they were able to get done, I'm impressed by, for sure.
But yeah, with that, I think we will wrap it up. Perhaps if you have any shout-outs or...
Yeah, sure. I want to shout out... I want to shout out Excel. He played pretty good. Gray, my boy. I had like $1,000 with him. He played pretty good. Alan Gaming, pretty right match. Everyone except Hunter. Hunter, you played awful. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just joking around. You played fine.
Hunter was popping off. We gave him his shout-outs in the match.
There was some funny stuff happening when you didn't kill the med, but it happens. It happens to everyone. Shout out to Phenomena, of course.
Really an unexpected appearance in this match, but
also I'm getting spammed to shout out Mopsy. A small shout out to Mopsy, I guess. Anyway,
shout out to Lou, man.
Shout out to Lou. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bro, imagine producing these casts.
His camera work was
It's 2 in the
clean, I
morning.
gotta say. His camera work is so clean. Like, a few times I looked over at it, it was so nice. I think he did a great job tonight.
Also, one last thing. I want to shout out my good friend Nuki. He doesn't play DF2 anymore, but he always messaged me to play Roblox. What a great player.
Oh, RX, you got any shout outs?
I'll shout out Nuki too. I'll also shout out Welp, specifically because he asked me to, and I want everybody to know that. Shout out to yeah, I'll shout out to Crondrum. Good luck in the upper bracket. I was scrimming with them against this team, HRTeam, a couple days ago. Took a bit of a beating, so but I was on their team, so they definitely got a stronger core going for them going into the upper bracket. I'm really hoping that they will finally end a Div 1 season strong, because God knows they are not coming back next season, if there is a God. And yeah, those are my shoutouts. Also shout out to my team, if you guys are watching.
Yeah, your teammates all right?
Yeah, I don't know if any of them are actually here, but if they are, shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to Witness Gaming, specifically Karma. Shout out to Witness as well, sponsor of Witness Gaming. Yeah, I think that's kind of covered everything. Shout out to Peppermint and JoJo. JoJo kind of sucks, a little crusty, but that's okay. Yeah, and I think that's all I got.
All right, and with that.
Oh wait, I will say. Let me give a shout out to Milky's just because you shouted out.
Crondrum, only fair.
I think that Luddy kid's an up and comer. Big fan.
He's looking pretty good. I seen that emote spammed in chat.
Yeah. Big bank campaign, Gloppers, crazy gamers. Big fan of them all. Excited to see the gamers this Crondrum. Very, very interested to see what happens. I think they're positioned really well to potentially take home the Div 1 win this season, so I'm really excited to see what they can do. A lot of up-and-comers on that team. So yeah, that'll be it.
Alright, so yeah, with that, we'll see you guys next time. So probably not us, probably somebody else, probably in the upper bracket, maybe a different division. But we'll see you guys next time, and wish you guys a good night.